Alrighty, welcome back to Face My Fearows, benefiting the Able Gamers Foundation! Donate in chat to get your donations in for that. Already raised an astounding $580 this event. Let's see if we can finish it off with $1,000. Can we do that, guys? Got a couple more runs for the rest of the day. Let's hit that $1,000 goal. But anyway, here we got Yidamoda running Kingdom Hearts 3 Critical Mode any percent at level 1. So this is the hardest challenge you can take for beating the full base game, and Yida's very good at it. So we got myself and Insert Logic here commentating. Logic, if
Hello.
you want to... Yeah.
Hello, I'm Insert Logic. Yida is a pretty good at this game. I would say the best to have ever touched it. So we're in for a good time, for sure.
And I am Yidamoda. I have been running this game for a long time, and this just so happens to be the category I am currently working on. I guess we will get right into it, so time starts as soon as I press yes. So we will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Yida.
Thank you.
Yay!
So we're going to start off the run here with a little dive to the heart tutorial section after Yida skips these cutscenes. You've seen these in almost every Kingdom Hearts game where Sora just goes to this stained glass window place. And as with previous titles before, we have a set of choices to make that will impact how this how we approach this run here. Two separate sets of choices here. After Yida, you see he's in KH1 form and the mirror has KH2. It's a little cool throwback to the earlier games. But first choice here, we have these 3 windows, and these affect our resources, our health and MP, magic points. We are going to choose the one that's balanced, which is basically, you know, there's a choice that gives you more health, less MP, one that gives you more MP, less health. This is in between. And the reason we picked this is we don't actually need the extra MP you would get from the MP choice, and having the extra health from balance as opposed to the MP choice, wisdom we call it, really helps our survivability in the early game in particular. The second choice here, these affect the abilities we get as we level up. And as it would turn out, you do not level up in the level 1 category, so that choice doesn't matter. You just pick one. I lied. There are 3 choices. These were added in the DLC a few years back.
Whoa, Yida. Why are you not picking the middle portrait, man? You're on it. It was a clown. What are you doing, boss?
Yeah, so, as Star mentioned, there is a DLC included in... this is the PC version, by far the fastest and the best version to run this game in. And we have a third choice, which includes pro codes and easy codes. Pro codes just makes the game a lot harder with new restrictions, and easy codes is just things like allowing you to one-shot enemies or constantly regen your health or whatever. We're not interested in any of that. We're just choosing the normal playthrough. But another cool perk about the Remind DLC is letting us skip the cutscenes for the intro, which actually saves about 2-ish minutes, I think.
Yeah, and it makes resets that much less of a pain.
Yeah, base game resets for KH3 definitely worth the cream of the crop, because you want to get right back into it.
And speaking of resets, on critical mode, the mode we're playing, Darkside is honestly one of the hardest bosses in the game. You can die here very easily. And Yida, I believe he just did that without taking any damage.
I think I took a 1 hit.
He took a look at the beginning.
Yeah, the general idea is the orbs will be falling down, and you want to get as many guards as you can, because reprisals in this game are a lot of damage, especially if you get the perfect guards, which is when you glow red. I got that a lot in this dark side, and it's generally the basic number of it is it's just a 1.5 times multiplier, damage to the reprisal, I believe. So it's just a lot of damage when you get those.
Mm-hmm. It really makes a huge difference, especially in some strats you're going to see here in the early game that may involve a shield, but we'll get to that there. First fight, this is also a fight that you can die easily on. A lot of these enemies can one-shot you, especially this large body Yida's fighting and just absolutely destroyed by juggling in the air. The reason he did that was to keep away from all the other enemies so they wouldn't disturb him, and also kill that large body as fast as possible without it killing you. Because, like I said, they're dangerous. And Yida just absolutely destroyed that fight. That was a very good fight.
It's pretty strong. You know, the large body has properties where you can't attack it from the front because it's a big boy, and his stomach will parry you. And having him just kind of doing his own thing in the field is kind of dangerous. So taking him in the air right off the rip lets your party members take care of some of the enemies. Maybe take aggro and much the party members have done, pretty much kill a lot of things around you.
Mm-hmm. Your party members actually do very good damage in this game, in early game. Crit level 1, it starts to die off since you don't level up, obviously, but they're very good in early game if they cooperate. Which Yida's actually changing party member AI here. He put them all on hands off, which basically means, or not all, he put Hercules on hands off, which means Hercules will not attack anything. Hercules' attacks tend to knock enemies super far away and just generally like mess up the way you go about these fights here. We got our first flame core fights. We're gonna fight like 4 or 5 of these in Olympus here.
Maybe double it.
Sorry,
just for this fight.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, so you notice we have water magic here. You would guess water is strong against fire, and you would guess right. Yida is actually using water here strategically. Not only does it do a lot of damage, but it also prevents the flame cores from going into their desperation move at 50% health. That's like their ultimate attack when they're at low health. You saw one white charge up there at the end. If you're just attacking them with physical and they hit 50% health, they'll go into that move where they have iframes and fly around and are very dangerous. But casting water on them at least once just cancels that, and they won't DM. We'll call desperation moves DMs from this point on.
Another thing about the water is water actually has 2 hitboxes, and that's the water when it's forming and then the projectile. And the reason why Yida's getting right up in their face is because water acts as like a shield for a small amount of time.
That was a really good fight.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. If you're pressed up against the enemy, it will deal 1 like liquor damage, and then the projectile will deal the extra part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Yida's getting right up in their faces, even though I feel like if one of them gets an attack out, it can be pretty dangerous.
It's over.
Yeah.
Olympus...
You pack up and take yourself back to the Station of Serenity for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Olympus is a super dangerous world, just because you're low on tools, and as we're going through this world, we're progressively unlocking more and more of our toolkit, with no story reasons whatsoever. They just, like, prevent us from using it, but, all these enemies, especially flame cores, can kill you super easily, which makes this world a reset point for a lot of runners. Which, thank God, we can skip the cutscenes now.
Yeah.
Another flame core right there. Go on.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about the extra abilities we get from choosing crit.
We didn't. No, if you want to take that away, because you know them the best.
Yeah, so a cool thing about crit is, I guess to balance the difficulty, they gave us extra starting abilities. And the main thing that makes certain parts of crit a lot faster is the extra movement abilities we get. So, as you can see, my air slides and super slides are going very far, and that's because we have them at level 3 right from the get-go. There are other stuff that we get for being on crit that other categories don't get, like reprisals, so normally we wouldn't be able to guard and immediately use stuff like counter slash. But now we can to our advantage for certain fights where maybe guarding them is required.
The king's captain. Yo, Goofy. Jeez.
Yeah, he's going nuts on them right now.
Yeah. This is actually the last Flame Core fight in this world. We may see them later on in the run in a different world, but this is probably the best mob fight in this game. One other thing about Flame Cores that you may notice Yida's doing right now is that if Flame Cores are out of your camera view, they won't actually attack. They'll just be passive. So on that first wave there, and he's doing it here a bit too, he angled his camera so that he could only see the Flame Cores that he was fighting and the ones close to him, so that the one on the other side of the room would not be attacked to interrupt him. That's very, very important. Cool tech that a lot of people don't know about. We're in second form now. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention. I was gonna mention reaction commands, but yeah. So every Keyblade in the game has a form that you can go in. Kingdom Key has second form, which is basically your 2FM toolkit, Kingdom Hearts 2, and has Magnet Burst, which in mob fights is an extremely powerful tool that just kind of micromanages and groups up everything. And it's based on the arrows on the bottom left. Yida has to do a combination of inputs. Basically, to guarantee that you get a dry form, you just want to just slash your Keyblade. But one of the abilities that comes with crit is the ability to consistently get a form change no matter what you do. Oh.
Which Yida actually
Yida, you died!
No!
Bro!
No.
I'm so bad.
No, Yida turned that ability off to guarantee form changes, because what that also does is that prevents attraction indicators coming up. Ooh.
Oh, here we go, baby!
So yeah, don't need to talk about attractions anymore. Yida just got Rage Form, which is an RNG form change you can get whenever you're in critical HP. You have a chance of getting it, and it is super strong in early game. Yida did the wrist charge command 3 times, which like triples your strength output, and you can just see Yida absolutely destroying this rock troll.
Yeah, Rage Form is probably one of the coolest form changes on paper, because it's a very high risk reward, because every time you do a charge you lose a portion of your health, and to be at max power you gotta be in crit health. But Donald healed Sora, so Yida was at like max damage at max health.
Yeah.
So he was able to tear her ass basically.
If you ever see Rage Form in early game, you use that immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the times in mob fights, the finisher alone should one-shot everything, even on level 1.
What Yida was trying to do in that fight when he died at the beginning, he was doing that because that enemy on other difficulties guarantees you to get your first attraction of the game, Pirate Ship, but on crit, it's RNG, which is unfortunate. So having Pirate Ship there makes that fight just like almost double, triple speed it would be without Pirate Ship. So Yida, it's faster on crit to just like death abuse until you get it in the opening. It's a shame we didn't see the tech with it there, but you guys got to see Rage Form instead, which is just as good. Possibly
I would say better. Yeah, I would say better.
But yeah, we'll see more. We'll see attractions. Hopefully, we'll see attractions. It's crit, but we'll see attractions more in early game of this run.
Oh, you okay, Yida? You take a moment. Another thing that we should also mention really quick is to go back to the arrows. So the way that this game works with situation commands is once you pass 3 arrows, you will get situation commands that are a combination of what you used. I'll probably explain that a bit poorly. So, for example, if Yida did a combo of slashes and waters, there is a chance he can get a water gur. I think it's gur without the water cuff link. But you can get water gur, which is the final tier spell for water, which you get later in the game, but because Yida used waters through his combo and up to situation gauge, he was able to pick that up. It is RNG, you could use waters and put in a couple hits and never get water gur. The only time it's consistent is if you only do water gurs. It makes it 100%. Oh, water, sorry. It makes it 100% consistent to get water gur.
It's water. It's the tier above.
Is it water? Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, I'm a beginner. It's true.
Here, Yida is going to do a very cool, probably one of the cooler bits of tech in the Kingdom Hearts 3 speedrun called Leg Skip. Normally, you're supposed to kill these 2 feet before you're able to climb up and attack the head, which is the boss's main health bar. But Yida is literally going to climb up the leg by doing physical combos against it, which propel Sora forward and upwards against the leg. We're going to climb up to his head. His head's health bar is not going to show, but it's going to be there hidden. The head is not going to attack, and Yida is just going to wail on it for free.
Yeah, it is a shame that Yida has to be a dirty little cheater for his playthrough, but oh well, we'll turn the blind eye just for this one fight.
Yeah,
man, this is a really cool strat. It's one of the few times in the run where we kind of break a boss's AI, and this one is super nice because dealing with the feet down below is very actually kind of scary. And then when you're up here, his heads actually attack you, but because the game still has the idea that we're down fighting his feet, the heads aren't doing anything.
Yep. And here's our attraction. You see this attraction twice in the run. It's a very it only shows up in 2 fights or circumstances, but we use it there to just kill him after getting his health down. Yida wailed on him until he got second form, and that's important. We're going to use that in the next fight. After we pick up, I believe you pick up the fluorite. Yeah, fluorite, that's for synth material upgrading Keyblades. We'll get to that later. But Yida's going to do some movement here with some chained air slides and some dodge rolls in between.
I cannot do air slides.
Probably because I was talking about it, put pressure into you. But yeah, refill his MP and then quickly go into this next fight with second form. He still has some gauge left. And we're going to use second form to break the armor on the satyrs in this next fight super quickly. And, you know, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you guys watch because this is a very cool piece of tech.
Oh, perfect fight.
Oh, this insane.
I love
when
that.
they had their armor up, Magic's cast stagger them, and Yida did some waters in the middle of them to quickly get the Water Grand Magic to finish their barrier, and use the Sonic Blade Situation Command, which is the tier 2 of Second Form's finisher, to just kill off the rest of the satyrs after they actually had their armor broken.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I got very scared when I watched her. Normally, when you stagger with the satyrs, there's normally one straggler that misses the memo and kind of runs forward a little bit.
Yeah,
he can kind of hit you depending on your timing.
Here's our ticket up.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get hit by that one. Luckily I didn't. Another thing I picked up was Refocuser. That will be important later on. We did pick up a few of just extra items like elixirs, refocuses. Elixir is mostly for like focus refill and MP refill, but other ones could just simply be used for selling because they are worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And focus, it's a resource we just got, which we use to we spin to use shot locks, which Yida's going to use here right in the opening. Each Keyblade has 2 shot locks associated to it, a partial and a full. We're seeing Ragnarok, which is the Kingdom Key full shot lock, to just deal some damage to the Ice Titan. And then, you know, you have to kill these 2 bosses here. You got the Ice Titan, who never is really immune to attacks. And then you got the Lava Titan, who during most of his attacks, other than the one he's doing right now, is immune. But regardless, whenever the Lava Titan's attacking, it's generally better to swap to the Ice Titan just because he's so far out of your range or he's immune. But just gonna try to split damage, kill these bosses around, get them low enough. Hopefully kill the Lava Titan first, and then the Ice Titan won't have much health left to finish.
The Lava Titan is definitely the scariest one though, because you can get hit by either his swing or a loose fireball, which can kind of catch you out. But you're just doing a very good job. This
I did not mean to do that.
Tornado Titan is a consistent intervention of the fight. Ooh, okay.
All right, we
That
lived.
was
I was a little scared
there.
there.
Yeah, this category gets scary sometimes, but just gotta live through those.
Yeah. So Yida actually has Magic Carousel, which he's gonna not use because even though it looks very pretty, it isn't the fastest thing in the world, which is why
Yeah.
I just kind of let that idle out.
I just want to focus on building my forms, and now that I have second form, I wanted to carry over to the next fight, so I'm gonna try and finish Ice Titan as
There's
quickly as
another
possible.
attraction. Wow. I don't think
Yep.
I've seen that in this fight.
Nice
bad on
RNG,
that.
Yudo. That was a
If
very
it
good
was
fight.
beginner, then maybe.
If it was beginner, I'd be sending you very angry DM, like Discord DMs.
Yeah. Here's Tornado Titan. Two phases here. The first one we're just wailing on its tail? Question mark.
Oh,
Uh,
Yep. I'm
but
having a moment. Actually, is it a tail?
it does that attack where it goes in the air and wails buildings at you, and you can block them back to deal damage. And funny enough, the damage that the buildings do to Tornado Titans scale based on the damage they would do to Sora, which means on higher difficulties, like the one we're playing on right now, they one or two shot Sora, so that means they deal a good chunk of damage to the Tornado Titan. So it's worth letting him do that attack and blocking them back to him. But yeah, just entering phase 2 here, where we get to fly.
Well, we get to pull with style. Actually, there's
Yeah.
the grounding attack again. Now we're flying.
Yeah. So we're gonna do specific combos on this boss to keep them staggered. Basically, magic finishers stagger the Tornado Titan with that water. So you're just gonna finish every combo with the water to keep him staggered. That's gonna prevent the boss from going into his desperation move because we just keep him constantly staggered like this. His desperation move involves him teleporting across like the other side of the room and wailing more like either fire or ice, depending which phase he picks, stuff at you, and you have to just travel to him, and it's very slow. You lose a lot of your downtime of damage on the boss. But yeah, it's good that we found this tech very earlier on with water to keep him staggered. There's this is the first attraction we're using other than the train Blaster Blaze, which on crit you don't always see on this fight. You want to see it because it does a good chunk of damage, and we got lucky there and managed to kill the boss before he went off and got a DM in.
I'm still stuck on whether the bottom part of it is a tail or not. To be honest.
I don't know. What do you think, chat? Is the bottom of the tornado a tail? Like, obviously not a real tornado because they're not alive, but like a living tornado. Is that a tail? What do you call that? I'm gonna Google this. What do you call the bottom of a tornado?
If Google says a tail, we cut the stream now. We go home. We've learned nothing for the day. Now we're switching characters.
Just
Just
a
for a
funnel.
small period. A funnel. Oh god.
Yeah, I knew like the whole thing was a
Tail.
funnel, but I didn't know if like the
Tail
terminal was.
sounds. Tail sounds cooler. Anyway. But now we're
Wait,
playing
Tail-
as Emo Riku with King Mickey. This fight is really dependent on Mickey and situation commands. You're just gonna be doing very particular combos to try and get 2 situation commands. One of them being with Mickey and Thandaza. And he also wants to kind of keep him in a corner so Mickey can actually do something. Oh, Mickey's in.
I did not get Thandaza.
Your luck
Freaking-
with Thandaza has been so bad recently,
Yeah.
bro. Oh, but Mickey, the king. Oh my god, the king, bro.
The hero.
King Mickey is a pretty big make or break in this fight for harder categories because he is a damage dealer, and if you don't get the Thandaza, you're kind of screwed. But my man Mickey Mouse, the king of the land, definitely helped out there.
Logic,
Yes.
just so you know, you may be happy to hear this, but tail is a slang that is a colloquial term for tornado most commonly used in the southern United States. So we're kind of right.
I can sleep well. That's good. I can rest easy.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, sir. The
problem.
background research on that.
This is some downtime at the gummy mission. We have a $50 donation from Noxus 94 who says, "Go Yida, best man, best of luck, man." I mean, both are true. Best of luck. You are the best man, Yida. We all love you.
Thank you, Noxus.
Yida's a great guy. Thank you so much for the donation. Speaks the truth. That guy does.
My ego needs more. Feed it more.
Nah. Alright, guys. If you're gonna be donating, say a nice thing about me and Da. Okay, Yida gets enough praise these days.
You're just a voice.
So gummy missions, we call them gummy missions, but they're more just gummy flights. Very different from previous games, open world. And we use these to travel between worlds. We get a lot of money in space, as you see. We also have these meteors, which I wasn't paying attention if you got any, but killing those meteors has a chance to give you fluorites, or even Damascus in the rare case, which are both Keyblade synth materials that we collect through out early game to upgrade some of our Keyblades. It's very good to get them in space because that means you have to pick up less chests in Twilight Town and Toy Box for it. So it's like, it's rare. I think it's like a 1 to like 3%, depending on it. But when you get it, it's nice, and it's worth killing them for because you don't lose time.
Yeah, it's a weird way to farm money, but you can actually just go through space and just farm money over and over. And it's worth quite a lot too.
But yeah, we are back in Twilight Town to fight beefed up Dusks. Dusk with super armor. These are not KH2 Dusk anymore. They have learned, they have trained, their bodies are ready, and they're getting destroyed by shot locks. So yeah, Yida just spawned the second wave. So now he's swapped to Hero's Origin, the Keyblade we got from Olympus, and gonna build the form change up for it. Are you good?
Yeah, I ended up stepping to the wrong thing.
Oh, whoops. But yeah, its form changes this shield, counter shield. Basically, it lets you hold a guard indefinitely. It does expire after some time, but you have a lot of time. After you build up 2 charges of it, you get that insane Wrathful Flurry, which you just saw, which absolutely devastates enemies. And it's the best way to go about this fight here. And it also gives you second chance once more, and we just got another Rage Form. Let's go!
Rage Form. Oh, McDonald's dead.
Hopefully this ends it.
Dude, that was kind of cracked, actually.
I did not get Pirate Ship, so I was worried the whole time, but Rage Form saved.
And then you got Pirate Ship. Yeah, so here, Yida just went Meow Wow, and then just canceled it immediately. The reason he did that is because that depletes your MP. And in critical mode, with an ability we have, you build up arrows faster while in MP recharge. And Yida wants to build up second form here. He has it. He's not going to go into it immediately. You're actually going to see a glitch here in a second where he's going to counter shield twice to block it, or to build up charges, get the critical counter, and just do devastating damage. And right at the end of the animation goes second form. That glitch causes the Wrathful Flurry to be stored, and you immediately have it again going back into it. It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to like go back to attack. For some reason, going into a form change during that animation resets it. And I don't know why, but we're glad because it makes this fight an absolute joke and over before you know it.
Yeah. Obviously, that fight has like 8 or 10 bars of health, but you only have to deal with 2 because the game does not expect you to deal with that dude so early.
Dude, my first casual playthrough, when I saw that, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I was like, "Wait a minute, run it back, hold on, go deal with this dude now."
You know, the silver lining is at least that boss room is like one of the best boss rooms in the series, and just perfectly utilizes its terrain with the boss's mechanics to bring about a fair fight.
Awesome. I couldn't have put it better myself, to be honest.
Yida preserved that second form to bring it into this second fight, Power Wilds. Opening with shot locks here.
Goofy blocked that perfectly.
There we go. Thank you, Goofy. So just doing 2 shot locks to kill off this first wave. I think it's when you kill 6 Power Wilds, the second wave spawns. And our goal here is just to spawn the last wave, which we need to kill a few more in the second wave to get that. Yida's gonna go into counter or Hero's Origin to build back up counter shield because we want it for the next fight.
Yep. A lot of this run is obviously handling the fight you're doing right now, but also knowing what kind of tools you need to take into the next one. And because of how form changes are in this game, Yida is going to be thinking like 1 or 2 fights ahead of the fight he's on.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the cool parts of level 1. You got to do a lot of forethinking and really know what you're after.
Yep.
The run.
Yida swapped back to keep Kingdom Key because it has more magic. And he uses that to use his attraction because attraction damage scales with your magic stat. So he's going to do the splash run, do a Meow Wow. I believe he's going to pop a High Ether here. Go into another Meow Wow. And then...
clean up.
Oh, just clean up? Okay. And Donald just ended that with a fire.
Yeah, so the splash run in that fight is not guaranteed, so if I didn't get it, I would have to use 2 more ethers and use a 3rd Meow. So getting splash run is basically another way of saying you are saving ethers for 3, which is exactly what I want to see.
And
Also, just seeing what Lennox put in the chat, with the way this game is, you could have 3 Keyblades on Sora, and you can switch between them. And when you get the form change for the Keyblade, you can switch off of it, and it will not lose any duration. So yeah, Yida got Hero's Origin, and he got the form change for it, and switched to Kingdom Key. So it's none of the duration is going down. It's still a full bar, still a full form for when he gets to this fight.
we got the third and final fight of Twilight Town here, Mansion fight. Gonna see some really cool stuff with that utilizes both second form and Hero's Origin in unison. Pull off a pretty cool combo. Building up Raffle Flurry here. Then
Why did you aim that way?
Do the glitch again to get that flurry back. And watch this. He positioned himself so that they would all be brought to the wall and be on the left or that side of the room to be hit by that last counter flurry there. Which is, I think Logic was the one who actually put that together way back when he was messing around with crit strats. So shout out to Logic.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Yeah, once upon a time, it was using Magna Burst of second form is really fun for mob fights, and it gets utilized quite a lot in the early game. Not so much in the end game, just because of the tools we get, but with
Get up.
Oh my, okay, good.
Yeah. That was good cleanup. That fight, obviously the stuff with the magnet person stuff is really cool. We hope for the best with that. And then after that, it's pretty much you just got to clean up and use the rest of your toolkit that you got. Be it the counter shield finisher, as you saw. Best finisher in the game. Totally not random. It totally is random. And then Sonic Blade and just shot locks to finish everything off. Yeah, Logic, do you want to talk about Lucky Emblems? You're our resident Lucky Emblems expert.
Well, thank you for the title. I can sadly say I was, and then Yida dethroned me.
You still have that grudge.
Ripped everything off the
you?
walls. Yeah. So
It was my job.
yeah, I think I'll leave that to Yida. No, so
Took Logic's PB world record. /
can't believe it, man. So basically, Yida's gonna be picking up Lucky Emblems, Mickey crests with just like over the world, whether they be made of light or objects, and be taking pictures of them. The reason why he's doing this is because you get rewards for the amount you get, and I believe Yida and everyone wants to get. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yida. I think it's 30.
20 for magic.
20.
boosts.
Okay. Yeah. So he needs 20 Lucky Emblems for the magic boost, which is a big deal, especially in a run where you get no additives to your stats besides Keyblades.
Mm-hmm. The whole goal in level 1 is to basically get your stats up above the damage floor for the world, so that you actually do decent damage with your magic. Because this game's base game has, I wouldn't even say arguably, I think everybody agrees, some pretty bad scaling at lower levels, especially level 1. Which is, I think the design choice was it's remedied by going into Keyblade form changes, because that actually brings your stats a lot higher above the damage floor to the point that you don't do chip damage, which is cool, but it's harder to get those form changes on crit. It's a lot slower, even when you're in MP charge. So it, it's... You take what you can get. But yeah, cooking. Ratatouille.
Yeah. Don't mess up, Yida. Don't mess up.
Oh no, I messed up. I got excellent.
Oh no,
was
you
gonna
didn't
get
get the
good.
next tier. Super excellent. No.
Oh, you didn't get the. Oh, damn.
Run's dead now.
So, basically, Yida went to the world map and to the bistro to cook a meal. He was a bit hungry, so he
He just
went there.
cooking. He's cooking right
He's
now.
cooking, man. I'm telling you. And food is a consumable that you can have in the run. You can have like a main course of starter, mains, dessert, and what's the other tier? Oh, the fish. There's like a fish tier. So, Yida made a bunch of desserts, and those desserts will actually boost his magic and MP throughout the run. And he's actually going to combine the foods later in the run to actually get extra abilities, which will be sure to explain once we get there. But cooking is pretty important for the level 1 run, because as I mentioned earlier, there's no real other way to up your stats than Keyblades, the AP boosts, and food. Those are the only 3 viable ways to up your stats. And accessories. I'm silly.
Coming up,
Yeah.
we're going to see Yida, surprisingly in a speedrun. You don't see this often. We're going to do something exactly how the devs intended it.
Of course.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you see, they put the camera in the game not for lucky emblems, so it's for you can skip these gummy bosses.
Mm-hmm. And
By pressing the... Go on, Logic.
I was gonna say Yida landed in a ball of darkness and ended his run. Okay, you
Yeah.
can go home.
But basically, yes, Yida did take a picture of the constellation to get a gummy skip. But basically, when you press the camera after the cutscene, basically you skip the cutscene, and the frame that the gameplay starts fading back in. If you use camera there, it actually brings up the camera and it glitches out the fight because you're not supposed to be able to use the camera. Lets you fly past the boss and land in the world. We're going to see that one more time in this run. Made very easy on the PC version. It was a nightmare on console. And just... I mean, Logic, myself, I'm sure Yida, we've all lost runs to bad gummy skips. And when we didn't lose runs, we lost the morale.
Lost Sano. It's one of those things where you either hit it first try or you get like 8th on console. But on PC it's free.
It is.
Also-
On console, you had to time it, but on PC, like, I think Yida even still mashes it out, and it just gets it every time.
Meow Wow is our hunk of joy in this game. A GDD resident. Basically, his gimmick
Meow Wow,
is
hit
he
them.
is a big whoopee cushion. Oh my god. And the more you jump, the bigger he gets, and then you can do a dash, which is... Yida has no control on where it goes, so if it looks a little stupid, it's because it is. But overall, that was a good fight. Now we're kind of cooking with some things. Yida's got some tools on him. So we're able to like mix and match a couple strats to make quick work of some of these fights.
Yep. Built up those double arrow guns with shooting star, the Keyblade we got from Twilight Town, which we'll be using here for the next 2 worlds. Has good magic stat, and the double arrow guns form change. Very good. Gives you some range capabilities with your basic attacks. He's going to store it and bring it into a fight a little bit later in this world. We'll get there when we get there. But just taking more pictures of lucky emblems here. And then heading off to the toy store for mech fights, which Logic is probably one of the best, if not the best, people in the cage community when it comes to going fast with mechs. So
Whoa.
I'm just going to use the bathroom and let Logic talk.
Well, thank you, Thor. Yida's probably dethroned me on that too.
No,
Ass.
not even close.
But these mechs are a mainstay in Toy Box. Basically, you pilot a mech that you use to shoot, punch, and special ability through these mob fights. The colors represent different kinds of mechs. Red mechs are stronger with punching, and they shoot slower. Blue mechs are an overall good mix, and purple are for long range. Yida wants to knock the mechs down as fast as possible because they're the scary ones. And then while things are moving towards him, he's going to take a second to grab that chest. And now deal with the rest. These exploders come out your right shoulder and then your left shoulder, so Yida's going to be doing some sidestepping movement to make sure all the orbs connect. And yeah, you can see they're kind of camping in the back shooting at him. This fight can get very dangerous if Yida stalls in taking care of these enemies because they can use their special abilities too and can kind of destroy you. But that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard decision to know when to grab the chest, but generally I like to spawn the bigger wave, and then as I'm grabbing the chests, I'm just waiting for them to come. But sometimes if you're just right next to it, you might as well grab it.
Now we're grabbing the fire cufflink, which is a pretty big deal for the speedrun. We'll be explaining that once we equip it. But now we get to taste, have a taste in the red mech. Obviously, the red mech is close up, so Yida's going to be lining up. And a little fun thing you can do is if you punch, the hitbox appears in front of you, and it's a lasting hitbox. So you can punch and then dash, even after the punch has been thrown, to carry the hitbox to multiple enemies. And yeah, that was a pretty good fight. Those dragons are pretty scary.
I tried to tackle the first two together, but the first one kind of blocked the second one, so I couldn't hit the second one and had to do lots of extra punches on it, which was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, toy box is cool. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, general idea is you just try to group them up and hit them with the big attack at once.
Toy box is a very interesting world in the speedrun because the vast majority of the fights, all except for like 2 or 3, technically 4, but we have a way around that. Fights that there's, what am I saying? I lost my train of thought. There's only like 2 to 4 fights in this world where we actually fight as base Sora. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. The rest of them you fight in mechs, which like once mechs are like kind of annoying when you're first learning or starting out the game or playing casually, but once we all started to figure them out and get good with them, they're actually very fun to control and use, at least in my opinion.
I agree. The mechs, obviously it can be a bit weird when you have gimmicks based on a world, but there's some serious technical skill that can be found with using mechs in KH3. So watching it done in speedrun.
I think what sucks for me and mechs is just I'm bad at shooters, so I can't do it alone.
Well, not to toot my own horn or anything, but quite the sharpshooter in my day.
Oh my god, Yida, what did you just do?
What the hell?
I broke the game.
Yida, I thought this was NMG, bro. You lied to the sub team, bro.
Time to make a new leaderboard. NMG.
Basically, what happened there is those toys that Yida that have like the movement indicator where you can just like step up on them. If in the middle of your step up animation you like find something to air step to, which you're able to air step to the things outside of the room through the wall, it lets you air step through walls. And basically, we did that to get a mech from downstairs, lure Amber to the window, and just destroy her with the mech. And we are so glad that was found by somebody outside of the speedrun community posted a YouTube video on it. Super glad that was found because that fight in particular was just an absolute nightmare to deal with, especially on critical mode.
And the nice thing about that fight is we don't need to use any tools for it, so we're able to carry our tools to this fight. Basically, this fight is based off the gauge in the top, and it's not based on the strength of hits, it's about how many hits you can do. So Yida wants to use auto shot on double air guns to just get little pellets to rattle him, and oh, Jesus.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I need to describe the fight, Yida. Slow down a little bit, boss. Crap, I can't finish.
Just talk twice as fast.
With how quick you're going right now, I don't know if that's even fast enough, mate.
That fight's scary on crit. It's not so much on other difficulty, because another thing about crit is enemies, at least a lot of enemies, tend to be more aggressive on critical mode. They adjusted their AI a bit. And the mechs that spawn around the room, you may not even saw it because Yida went so fast, but mech spawn, like, in the later phases of the fight, they can just, like, destroy you, interrupt you out of your air guns, and also easily kill you. Which sucks, because if you die on that fight, you lose your air guns. That's what happens when you die with a Keyblade transformation, you lose it. So you gotta do that fight. You gotta do that fight. You just gotta do it. It
Yep.
sucks.
Just do it.
So, we're on to the fun part. I know Yida loves this part. Yida? How much
You want
love
me to
it?
explain it?
No, I want to get your 2 cents.
champion.
How much
I'll
does
let
your
the champ-
How much does your
Okay.
heart flutter when you get to this fight?
I think about all the hours I've spent, and I still can't get a good time.
But
Speed
basically,
running 101.
yeah, you need to destroy certain powered up mechs to get this gold mech to spawn, who's the boss, and Yida wants to do certain combos to make sure he stays on his ass, because it's actually kind of scary if he gets a couple of licks out. Yeah, as you can see, Yida getting his tap dancing shoes on. He wants to punch him, there we go, and knock him down, and now kill him before he recovers. Okay.
No,
Right on the dot. No.
you
That's up
you
one.
missed up one.
Mm,
Yeah, Logic and I are gonna walk away to let some steam off, and you're on your own for about 10 minutes. While we
and I'm gonna need
reflect on this as your commentators.
I'm gonna need 20. I'm so angry right now. Oh my god.
Fair.
Oh my god.
Okay, no.
This is Logic takes Virumrex seriously, so anyone
Yeah.
that fails it, he just walks up and
Yeah,
you're
Getting
gonna get some
someone-
BMs from him.
getting sub 1 on critical mode is what you want to aim for, but like a 1 flat is very good as well.
hmm
I can't believe Logic agreed with that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, Yida and I actually got into a fist fight at ESA. We were like every minute of the day we were fighting because he was doing KHC practice for his run, and he was doing toe box. And man, he got like a 101 one time, and I just saw red. It's crazy, man.
Logic is an
I still got that
elitist.
bruise, by the way.
I wear it for Verum Rex. I wear that. But we're going to the second half of a toy box. Again, this is mainly in mechs, so he doesn't do any extra prep. He can just kind of power right through. And he wants to take on the scarier mechs first, just so he doesn't get sidelined by them, and kind of move with the group. These mechs like to fly around quite a lot, especially the purple ones. And Yida just wants to kind of dance around them.
Oh, no.
Okay, this is what happens when they kind of wail on you for a little bit. You destroyed the mech completely, with the health being in the bottom right. The purple mechs are easily the scariest because they just kind of sit back and fire you. The snipers of the mechs.
Yeah. Good thing is they have the least amount of health, and you can knock them over like instantly and non-stop. They don't have super armor, except during like their super charged up shot, I think.
I think with the purple you can stagger them anytime.
Yeah. So it's like the one that does the most damage, but also dies the easiest. See some cool tech here with Meow Wow. You're just going to go to the second floor, go into Meow Wow, jump and do the finisher, and that is going to kill the vast majority of things in this playground. You usually have to, there's 4 floors, and you have to kill enemies on all 4. But with that, we have to go just 1 floor down. Is there 4? There's 3. I don't know. We just have to go 1 floor down,
Yeah.
kill 2 of those guys with punches, and then clean up on the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest bits of tech in the run as well.
Meow Wow's finisher hitbox is massive. Yeah, I think it's way bigger than what you can actually see from all the unburst flying. No, what are they called? What's the things called again? They're not unburst.
There's
No.
killings. I don't actually know if they are.
Fingers?
Dream Eaters, that's it. The Dream Eaters, yeah. There's the
Oh.
Dream Eaters. So yeah, for, like the hitbox is huge.
Mhm.
Now, Yida's gonna do some cool tech here, where he actually did the special attack and then left the mech and jumped back in it. That refreshes the special attack, so he got to do it a second time. And because he's in the purple mech, he was able just to nuke everything here.
Quick little shout out real quick. Random Dips rated us with a party of 14. Thank you, Dips. Dips is one of the other few runners who are brave enough to take on this category, level 1 any percent. So if you find this content cool and entertained by it, be sure to go follow Random Dips on Twitch. Glad you're here, Dips. Thank you for the raid.
Thank you, Dips.
So yeah, we're not going to finish Toy Box or do the last boss quite yet. We get a Keyblade that's super strong and lets us wreck the boss in this next world here. But just got to fly to it first. If you notice, Yida is flying a Moogle, a different gummy ship. We had a question in chat during the first gummy mission if Yida took a picture of the constellation, and Yida did. And there's like a couple constellations in space in each galaxy, and when you take a picture of one, it unlocks a new gummy ship. In the case of the one we took, it unlocks this one, which is faster than our first gummy ship we got. It is one of 3 gummy ships we use in the run. But it's definitely worth picking up because it cuts a lot of time out of that gummy flight. The base ship that you start with is very slow. But here we're in Kingdom of Redacted to help Rapunzel and Flynn and all those people. Another Meow Wow fight here to just break down these enemies' health. Spawn on the second wave, and you're just going to switch back to Kingdom Key and shot lock these 3 enemies, evenly splitting the shot lock across the 3 so that each one die from it. Pop an Ether, go back and do another Meow Wow. That's going to kill most of these enemies, and the end here is just doing cleanup on these enemies that didn't die. Which, yep, it's going to do some shot locks, finish it off. Yeah, Meow Wow is the first link we get, and arguably, like, out of the 5 that you get throughout the game, the weakest, but that doesn't mean he's weak. His finisher in particular is very powerful, and it also has super long range. Like, I don't think they, like, calculate it by yards in this game, but even in a big boss arena, it will hit enemies that are just super far away from you.
Yeah, I think it's, in terms of, like, a big AoE hitbox, I think it's the biggest in terms of links.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not sure if it is the biggest, so I think Ultimate Weapon Shotlock might be even bigger.
Bigger, about the same, but yeah. It's hard to quantify. All we need to know is they're bigger. Chief Puffs. We got these Heartless, a bunch of small ones, and their big brother, who starts the game in armor with a big thing of cotton on his head. You break that armor instantly by casting Arrow on it, a spell we just got. 3 spawn, you're just going to break their armor immediately with Arrow, kill off 2 with shot locks, and kill the last one to go into double arrow guns. Here is a really cool strat that we do on Grid, where we just fly around, nuke these enemies with arrow gun shots, do some damage, but the main thing is we build up the second form of Shooting Star, which is Magic Launcher. We'll see that here in a bit, but Yida is going to build up Counter Shield here and build up a Wrathful Flurry. Not going to use it in this fight. That's going to be for later in another fight.
Wow.
And now, go into double air guns. He's going to go up on this cliff and do double air guns' unique ability to go into first-person mode. You can do it in both double air guns and magic launcher. Here, you just shoot a bazooka and one-shot everything. This is I've always enjoyed
cage-free experience, baby.
Yeah. Last wave. Gonna wait till they're up, and I believe... Yep, gonna position himself to do the finisher to break their armor instantly. And, oh wow, killed them too. I thought you'd have to, like, do it thunder or something.
Yeah, it's consistent to kill them all at once with the finisher, as long as you're in that position where I stood.
Mm-hmm.
The form changes are actually really useful as passives too, because with double arrow guns, not with magic launcher, just with double arrow guns, you actually get double flight and increased jump height. You get it with launcher, yeah, but just with like double arrow guns on its own. You actually get double flight and high jump, which is actually a really good passive ability for growth, because obviously at the start of the run you don't really have much to your name in regards to movement. Obviously with crit you get the air slides, but
vertical movement you're hindered for sure.
Yes, yeah. And so using the form changes for more than just combat is something that's practiced a lot on the run.
Like in this fight, we're going to end the fight in Magic Launcher to use it for both movement to the next fight, to skip a couple of areas, and also for the next fight. But here we got these Reapers, which they are weak to fire.
Stay away.
Oh, yeah. They have a lot of attacks that deplete your health super quickly, and also they have iframes during it. But casting fire on them staggers them, breaks their iframes, and lets you go in on them. So now we got double arrow guns and Firaza, our first Firazagram magic. With arrow guns, the magic actually, the way it's cast is unique. It shoots multiple projectiles that home in on multiple enemies, similar to just the basic attacks. Building up launcher here, gonna finish off the last few with some fires. And oh, I thought that enemy just spawned in. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So a little fun thing as well is the reason why Yida got off a Raza there when we were talking about earlier in the run, it only goes up 1 tier as the reaction command, is that Yida actually got the fire cufflink, which comes with Fearows, which gives you a random chance to get Fearows. Even if you don't use fires in your combo, you could come up with the Fearows. But because we want to be using fires, instead of going from fire to fire, we go fire to Fearows, which when...
Oh, sorry. No.
I was just gonna add with when you switch forms too, and you get the like altercations, which are normally stronger than just base Sora. It does some devastating AoE and like just overall damage to everything in its vicinity.
It's honestly wild how early you can get fire cufflink. Like, there's a cufflink in most of the Disney worlds that correspond to each magic, but fire, especially in the speedrun, is one of, if not the strongest spell in this game. And the fact that you can get it in like the second Disney world that early in the game is arguably unbalanced, but we like it in the speedrun for sure. Going back to the talk about using form changes for movement, we're going to see it to scale these cliffs with a magic launcher. Usually you're supposed to climb up these cliffs with like a path that you're intended to take and do these little mini cutscenes with Rapunzel where you sling across the area below you. We're going to see that here, but since we have like just movement with the form change transformation, we're able to just jump up onto these cliffs and bring it straight into this fight. Which it's 3 waves of Power Wilds. Yida's going to open the fight with a Wrathful Flurry he built up from the last fight. Move forward to the Magic Launcher finisher. That's going to kill that wave, get the attraction, and hopefully this should finish off the last few. And oh no! Oh no! Okay, so one bad thing about the form change.
What the hell?
About all the situation commands is, especially with that combination right there, is if you accidentally use a team attack during a finisher of like an attraction, let's say, it cancels the attraction and prioritizes the team attack. And yeah, that's unfortunate, but Yida's able to clean up with Meow here.
Captain America Thor.
Oh, that was weird. You were just floating. Yeah, phase 2 here. He's gonna die to get his MP back and refill his items here.
Yeah, and it also lets the surrounding bushes get their drops back, so I can get some MP orbs if I'm lucky enough.
So right here, it's actually really interesting. We are going to be using a summon we got from Verum Rex, which is Ralph. Now, there's a lot of science to our man Ralph, honestly. A lot of people struggle with it. I know I was a beginner runner, like mainly, so I was a little pea-brain. Basically, Yida, very strong. Yida wants to chain his blocks, so the main block, the one he starts on, leads to the other, which leads to the other, which leads to the other, and the damage is amplified for each chain in the combo. Yida threw out that guard to make sure he's facing the right direction, and here you can see he's chaining a block into a block, into a block, into a block, keeping the Heartless in the light, which keeps him stunned, and make sure they get damaged by it.
If I can get more MP orbs, I can save an ether. Nice. Oh, I had more. I could have saved another one, but whatever.
Okay.
Oh, big deal. Ethers are tight in level 1. You have to use a lot of them throughout it, so you want to conserve them as much as possible. but there's wiggle room to use extras if you need it. This is the last phase, last Ralph,
Yep.
and
Hopefully.
boom goes the dynamite.
Oi, love that. Very nice.
Yep, just got super jump, which is our first bit of base Sora vertical movement, where when you wall pick a new wall, you can press circle to jump up. We're going to do that right here to grab this chest, which has another accessory with pretty good magic stat we'll put on in a bit. But I just wanted to say, little lore about Ralph is that Link was actually, or Ralph as a Link was actually the result of a fan-based contest that Square Enix put on, where the winner would be put into the game, the new game, as a Link. And Ralph is the given name they chose for this Link in particular. And our very own community member, Deninator, actually won that contest. So they put Den in the game, named him Ralph, and made him probably one of the most powerful Links. So shoutouts to Den. Big Den.
That's the Big Den.
Big Den. They actually also made official art for to commemorate Denonator winning
Logic.
the tournament. And we couldn't be more proud of Deno. But Deno is our local scientist for Kingdom Hearts 3, and he was the main person who cracked the code for Ralph, which is why we call him Big Den, is because the man figured out all the the best kind of setups, like what kind of change you can pull off with what blocks. He really shed light on everything.
Yes. Anyway, we're picking up the last bit of our lucky emblems here for the run to unlock the award at 20 lucky emblems, a magic boost. Also picking up a rune ring. That's a powerful accessory we're going to use here that gives us 3 magic, and it also gives you the extra cast ability, which basically allows you 1 bit or 1 extra use of your MP when it's about to be depleted. So normally if a spell would put you back into MP recharge, it puts you at 1 MP so you can cast an extra spell. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Especially with how strong magic is in this game and how tight ethers are. Lets us get just a little bit more damage in before we have to ether. Here is the funnest minigame in the game, and I'm not saying this ironically. This game is awesome. Always a pleasure doing it in the speedrun. Nice relaxing break.
And the music's amazing.
Sorry?
And the music's amazing.
It's awesome. Everything about it.
Keep dancing.
Yeah, we got 2 little things where we gotta keep dancing. Then go back to phase 1 with a different little dancing spawn pattern. There is tech to this. Basically, there's a certain path that we set up to maximize this. After 3 dance partners, you can use the barrel, which gives you a large chunk to the gauge to proc the middle minigame. Gonna do that again. Grab 3 to get again, and I think, yep, that's proc the final minigame there.
You can also just smash this last part. You don't have to time the axis of circles.
Yeah, if you press both at the same time and you just mash it, it lets you do it.
You got it.
You got it. And this is this minigame's cool because it also gives us another magic boost. We love magic boosts in this round, and we are going to get a lot of them.
Yeah, you can actually return back to the town to do the dance minigame again to get another magic boost, but obviously that's not worth it for the run.
Yep.
That friend just blocked the other friend. Why?
Dude, no. He did the pick and roll. God, that's terrible. But yeah, this fight, at least in the beginning with the Reapers, goes very similar to the first Reapers fight, where it's a fire combo and then a partial shot block to finish them off. And you see there, Yida's MP was literally the bar was empty basically. But he still had magic to cast thanks to this rune ring that we got.
Also, shoutouts to Kingdom Hearts 3. If there's a flat surface that can eat a spell, it's gonna eat your spell for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert.
Especially fire. which is notoriously bad with his tracking, especially when they're doing that spinning move there. You just saw a fire just circle around it, miss it, and then land in the ground. Wasted fire.
Yep. Now, here, you're just going to be working up to get Magic Launcher again to repeat the same bit of tech we saw earlier in the run on the Magic Puffs. Because even though the Dusks have a lot more health, this still is extremely strong against them.
And I'm hopefully gonna get the magic carousel. There it is. Please get it. Oh my god, just get it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah, and
that-
now I'm just gonna do the finisher to hit the Reapers, hopefully, and then this should take care of the rest of the fight.
Reapers have a lot of iframes if you don't hit them with Thunder. And the nice thing about it is the carousel actually catches them and like carries them around the carousel. I don't know if you guys can see like the orbs flying around. Those are actually like nobodies being thrown around within the RC. So this is a really good... Oh my god, that Reaper's got full health.
Why are there so many? Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Nature of
Target
Reapers,
that
sometimes they
box,
can
please, the Reaper.
That box had a coming. That box had a coming, is what I'm saying. That box is looking at you kind of funny.
It does now for blocking.
A question in chat for you, Yida. Do you time or mash your attacks? Be careful with your answer.
For these fires, I have to time them. Otherwise, if you mash them, some of the fires will miss as they're wiggling around.
What about throughout the run overall?
It entirely depends on what I'm doing. Like if it's a combo I just want to get out quickly, I can just mash it.
Do you think you do more timing or mashing in this run?
What are you trying to get at here?
I just want to answer, man. I don't want to start any beef. I just want to know.
Yida, do you actually deserve all the world records you have in this game?
Depending on his
you
answer,
master?
I don't. Yeah, depending on his answer, I don't think so.
I am a psychic, and I let my mind press the buttons for me. I didn't even get full MP.
Well, does your
Alright,
mind?
as a leaderboard, I'm going to launch an investigation to this because psychicism has to be cheating. You expect to hear that from me.
A speedrunner come official will tell you that psychics are legit. It is not a cheat, it is a normal human...
But I'm muted right now, so they can't hear me. But we'll slip you a 20 to cut this out of the marathon, okay? Like, you just gotta keep his records, okay? No one can know that he's cheating. Is that alright? Alright, cool, man. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. So, right here, we'll be doing Meowa. The puffs are actually going to be in the ground, and they have armor. So... oh, it was a joke part. It was just a bit I wanted to do.
Logic, she was...
No, it was like a part of the joke.
Logic.
That I was...
Logic, she's in on this. She's in
Oh,
on
no,
this.
what? No, I'm the clown.
Yes, you are.
Oh, no. I'm gonna need a minute.
Cool, I'll take control of this fight. Yita's going to build a tower. We're going to build a tower. Purposely doing the upward block second so that everything's chained in this. And then hopefully we're going to see a one-shot here. It's hard on level 1, but just... Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's go.
Yeah, that was lucky.
Another-
The double, triple blocks for the extra debris.
Yeah, we don't really know why this chains the way it does, because it doesn't make sense since all of them are in the light of the second block. But it does end up being a 4 to 5 chain. And if it doesn't kill the boss on level 1, it leaves her with like probably half a bar left. And it kills on pretty much every other category if you do it right. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Strat found by Din, as most Ralph strats were. Shout out to Big Din.
Big Den, big ups.
And
It's actually kind of interesting the way that fight is set up. Like, that fight has so much health that I assume that they would think that you'd use Ralph for that fight. Because the way like the fights have been scaled recently, the most you have is like 2.5 to 3 bars on Chaos Carriage. And then you get to Grim Guardianess and it's like 10 bars of health. So I think they might have been messing around with Ralph and just kind of realized that like,
We need
up
to...
the damage. Yeah, we need to like kick this up a little bit.
Yeah. To be fair, though, the Ralph strats that we use, the reason Ralph is so good in the speedrun is we know how to make Ralph really good. And making Ralph really good, once you know how to do it, that doesn't even mean it's easy. It's still hard to do, and it requires a good amount of knowledge of how Ralph works. And the way Ralph works is not evident at all. You have to figure it out. I'm sorry, Din had to figure it out. So most players aren't, unless they see these videos and practice themselves, they're not going to know how to make Ralph to his full potential, which, because of that, I don't mind that Ralph is super strong. Probably too strong. Yeah, arguably, but it's because we know how to make Ralph strong.
Yeah. Especially with the fact that we kind of lean more magic based, so it's I think it's a little easier to get more bang for your buck. Speaking of magic based, we actually got our new Keyblade from Grimonis, which is Ever After, which will be Yida's main Keyblade for the rest of the run, because of its shot lock and this magic stat. The shot lock, as you can see here, is a devastating shot lock, which does about 1.5 bars per cycle. And Yida will now be using his refocuses and high refocuser that he picked up when originally going through Toy Box to just kind of loop his shot locks and take.
I
the
did
fight
not
over
mean to use that either. Oh no.
Oopsie. Listen, we have to use a lot of magic in that fight, man. It's okay. Okay, but there we go.
Yep, so that
It's
was just 5
1
shot locks to end the fight. Yeah, the shot lock's kind of strong, but again, it's strong because, well, it's strong baseline. But if we didn't stack the magic we had and go out of our way to get the magic boost and everything, it would be doing a good chunk of less damage than this. But yeah, this is why we stack magic. If you haven't noticed, between links, that shot lock, and fire, magic's a good stat in this game. They had a big magic bias when they were developing this game. Not a whole lot of things scale off strength. It's pretty much only combos, physical combos. Could be more, could be wrong, but the vast majority of Sora's toolkit scales off magic. Yeah, so it makes a lot of people would see these speedruns and call a lot of these things we're doing cheese, and some of it isn't like that difficult to pull off, but as we got better at this run over time, we have found ways to utilize, proper timing and positioning of our fires and everything, whatnot, to optimize it even further. And it may look easy, but a lot of this stuff is the result of a lot of years and months of hard work and execution to make it look a lot better. But it's still a good showcase to see just how nutty this game can be when you know what you're doing. Yeah, second gummy mission, we're heading to Monstropolis next, but we're going to take a detour on the way. One, to pick up that waypoint, which lets us spawn from it to make getting to the world after Monstropolis faster. But then we're going to go take a picture of the second and final constellation we're getting this run, to get Endymion, the fastest ship in the galaxy. Behind Golden Highwind. I think its speed is a little bit slower, but it's by far the fastest ship you can get early on. And it also, another property of it is it has a lower cooldown time on using your boosts, which just makes it that much faster. Is Gummy Skip free on PC version of this? Yes, it is very free. Before on console, your best bet to get it was to time the input, which was very hard to do. But on PC, you can essentially mash it, as we said earlier. Hopefully I don't curse Yida and he misses it. No pressure, Yida.
If Yida misses it now, there's going to be some angry DMs waiting for you, Thor, at the end of this run.
I'll send my angry DMs first about missing it.
Damn.
I just quit this run on the spot. No point continuing.
Just leave the VC.
Just in case, does anybody have a backup run in chat they want to do in case this? Never mind.
Alright, no, we're good. Okay.
Run saved.
I guess I have to delete my angry DMs now.
Yeah.
I'll keep them for another
preemptively.
day. I had like paragraphs ready to go, but you hit it, so oh well. Now we are landing in Monstropolis, a really fun world.
Best world in the run.
Everything is so fluffy. And we'll actually be utilizing Ralph a hell of a lot more now because there are these big toads, which actually have a ton of health for being like basic mob enemies. So Yida is once again going to chain his blocks to set everything up and hopefully catch these. I forget the name of these on burst. Floods, that's it.
Yeah.
To catch the floods in the light too.
Yep. Because it looks like you got them all. Perfect. Yeah, because the floods are pretty much the shadows of the unburst in that they can go underground. And if they want, similar to shadows, they can just stay underground and just camp there. Because why not? It's very annoying, but just a little bit of cleanup required. But Yida was able to push all the floods in, which it is worth doing, pushing them into the light so that they die and don't go underground.
I almost bought potions.
Yeah. What did you buy there? You got another fight. Yida bought some food, the next tier of food, which unlocks as you progress through the game, that we'll eat here in a bit. Another Meow Wow fight. Meowstrop. Wait, no, that was the first one in this world. This world's nickname is Meowstropolis because, especially on lower difficulties, pretty much every fight utilizes Meow Wow. Ralph is replaced with Meow Wow a lot on level 1, though. Oh no! Oh my god, that was a clutch Ralph.
Yeah, that was nuts.
He was going to Ralph anyway, but Yida, like, was one more hit away from death, and he, being the good player he is, he quickly reacted and went into his Ralph to save him.
We take those.
Which, that was probably good, because when he pushed you forward, he also moved closer to the rest of the enemies.
Yeah, lucky coincidence. But yeah, I was surprised I even tanked all that, because I thought I don't have second chance, and once more, so I thought I was just gonna straight up get one shot old one.
Well, you were about a frame away from it. But you reacted. Sliding on rails, we are here, sliding on rails.
Fun.
That's your cue, first two.
Oh, sliding on rails. Hopefully we can slide on rails forever for the run.
Yida, chorus, go!
I can't, I'm doing it.
Beautiful
the rails,
song.
that was beauty. The rails are a little, the rails are a little slow. You can't really go much faster than kind of mashing square. But now we're on the fun part. These enemies are infinitely spawning, and the fight will only end once Yida fills up his laugh meter in the top left. The idea is to make Boo laugh to power up the doors around, and being up Harless clearly gets a little chuckle out of Boo, so it's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. If you ever, like, look, for people who are, like, new parents or wanting to become new parents, or even just are around kids in general, and you're struggling, if you ever want to make your kid laugh, just kill Heartless.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yep. Just spawn, like, Boo up Kingdom Hearts and start killing Heartless, and your kid will be giggling, smiling all day.
Yeah. Let's talk more about Ever After, though, because it's our first time seeing Ever After's form change, Mirage Staff. Very powerful form change. It lets you, as you slide, instead of dodge rolling or air sliding, you essentially air slide a short distance, but you also spawn clones. You can spawn up to 4, and they will mimic your basic attacks. Usually, though, once you go into the finisher, it despawns the clones, but we don't do the finisher purposely. We cancel it by doing another slide so that we can go straight back into more attacks, because that keeps the clone spawn. Very powerful. And as you can see, it builds up arrows super quickly. So Yido's able to get an Rosa there, which is an ability on Ever After to get the Da version of arrow to nuke enemies. Mm-hmm. Nice. The classic pole spin.
Almost lost the form because of the ball spin.
Yeah. Something interesting about form changes is not only does the duration stop ticking down during animations like Scream Strike, team attacks, links, etc., it also restores a bit of the duration after you finish it. Same thing with ending a fight in a form change. So that's very helpful, because I believe you do this in level 1. We're going to try to keep this form change for as long as possible in this world, which has 9 fights total. This world has a lot of mob fights and then the final boss, which, in my opinion, makes it a lot of fun for the speedrun. So
I think I did lose the form, actually.
What's that?
I think I did lose the form. When I switched to Hero's Origin, I don't
I
think
saw
I was
that
marked.
briefly. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. It's thankfully in this world, in these fights, it's not that hard to build the form back up. But yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
That should have hurt you a lot.
I mean, the super slides do have iframes. That's why I'm able to just slide through the lightning. But it's crazy that I went through that entire barrage.
Yeah. Rail sliding section on critical mode. I don't know if Logic touched on this earlier when he was talking about it. Very dangerous. You want to kill all those enemies because they will absolutely destroy you if you mistime your super slide iframes and whatnot.
You also want to get all the kills you can for potential drops. Drops are important for a specific item you want to get from the synth shop.
Yeah. You get it based on number of unique synthesis materials you picked up through the run, so anything you can get will help with that, because there is a chance, and this has happened to all of us, and it has happened a lot, where you don't get that item where you need it. So we'll get back to that when we get there, and hopefully we see it where we want to see it. Just making our way to first fight in this section of the factory, the electric room fight. And that is exactly what it sounds like. The walls are electrified. If you touch them, wow, they deal damage. Good chunk of damage. So
yeah, I lost my form.
It's okay. Thankfully, you can air step to these small enemies for a guaranteed buzzsaw, which is the most, out of physical combos, it's the most efficient and fast way to build up arrows for a form change. And then go into a Ralph here to kill these 2 big turtle toads and try to trap as many of the electric guys as you can with the lights, but they are evasive little buggers. And Flyer, did I say bugger? God, I am
Wow. You've been hanging out with the British too much.
I need to take a minute. Take it.
Yeah, nah, I got you, man. I got you. You need to get the Brit off you. Yeah, this fight, as Star was mentioning, it is a little scary because if you do get hit by the toads, you can get hit into the electric barrier, which will then damage you more. And something very minor that isn't touched upon too much in the run is status effects. And I believe if you hit the thunder wall, if you get hit by the thunder wall, you actually, I believe, get the stasis, like static effect, and that will deal a massive amount of damage if you make physical contact with the enemy or like party member. So a dangerous fight, leading into another dangerous fight.
Get the form.
Yeah, he needs to get his form back. And now, back to building. This is a little difficult spot because all the enemies want to go towards Sully or Boo. So Yida sadly is not able to combo the Ralph into the enemies just because they kind of walk towards Sully. So
yeah.
You just gonna do this clean up here.
In general, with big mobs like this, you do want the triple blocks just for the larger range it gives to catch them all, but sometimes the enemies will go into... I did not want to do this.
It's okay. There have been multiple world records of this run, or of this game, that have used Meme Tower.
I need to look back at the feed and see your face. Once you hit Meme Tower, hold on.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that happened. Thankfully, especially on this fight and on this wave, the finisher of Mirage Staff does do pretty good on these enemies, but there are Floods who are underground for a lot of it, and having to do some unfortunate cleanup. Next wave, we got a big turtle going to air step to the small snakes to build buzzsaw and build up. I thought you just use it again for a second when you want to. I was about to just the pirate ship to come big
a lot of damage, by the way.
Yeah, you get a lot of attractions on this fight.
Basically, what Yida wanted to do right there was he wanted a pirate ship with the toad pressed up against the wall, and you can pretty much shred his health because the hitbox is always hitting him. But because Yida had to do some extra work to get his form back, the position was off. But now we're in a good spot. Now that Yida has his form back, with how the form is when you get your clones out, Mirage Staff is like a self-fueling form, where you pretty much never will run out as long as you have your clones out and are firing. Like, you'll always get your 3 arrows and get more duration back from your form.
It is taking forever to finish the fight. What's going on?
Jeez, there's a lot of roses.
Well, that was unfortunate. I lost the form twice. Normally you want to lose it never.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of bad backups.
You were showing off the tower. It's
It's
always got to be done for the people.
It's just marathon showcase.
Now we be schmoothin'. Thanks to crit abilities, we are able to like effortlessly glide through these hallways, which is one of the main attractions to crit. Is you get super nice movement right at the beginning of the run. Normally you would get it progressively through the run on beginner, and other like categories like standard and proud, but on crit you get it off rip. So yeah, definitely a big attraction.
Oh, splash run.
Oh.
That is
And
very
you
good
gotta-
to get on the fight.
Very,
Especially
very
that
good.
early. Are you doing my tech? Please do my tech. You gotta do. Oh, you're not doing it. That's
Damn.
Well, with splash run, it's kind of unnecessary.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true because you can just like water beats fire, as you may have guessed throughout this run. And splash run does a lot of damage. Just finishing them off with some bullets here. Wait, that was still alive?
Yeah, I was super afraid.
Oh god. But yeah, that is fair. So I will accept the not use of my tech and say you actually made the better decision than I would have. That's why you're better in this game than me. For now.
No, it's okay. He just doesn't want to show off the good strats in a marathon, because then he would give off all the good stuff.
Oh right. We're toxic. We keep the stress to ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What you're saying is only the fraction of the potential of what this run can be.
I'm only using 20% of my full power.
Yeah, he's sandbagging because we kind of don't want him to be beat. So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. We're
Let
elite
us
gamers.
let us sink in enough for people are like, oh, are they serious? Like we just got quiet for a little bit. But yeah, Yida is obviously using the best strats, but also wants to try and keep it safe because sometimes the best strats aren't the best ones. Because even though they're the fastest, they have the risk factor of just getting slammed out of nowhere, and
Especially on critical mode and in this game where mob fights with a lot of enemies can be pretty random with what the enemies decide to do.
yeah.
We make the best of it, and we've made some really cool strats with it, though. Which, I think, is this our first time seeing Ralph in the run?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I forgot he had it, to
Ralph,
be
yeah,
honest.
that's Ralph. Actually, a link out of the game based off a fan contest that our Anyway, finishing the fight, making sure we keep our Mirage Staff, because our goal, we got one more mob fight after this in the last boss, and we are going to take it all the way to the last boss to destroy it. Just got our third link of the run, Simba. Very powerful link. One of the reasons why we come here before we go to Arendelle is to get Simba, because Simba is a fire enemy, Arendelle is ice, and fire beats ice, for those who haven't played Pokemon.
Well, damn. What is Pokemon? I haven't heard of it.
Is that that was that one where like they go inside computers, right? And there's these like computer monsters.
Yeah. Will it be shown at the will there be any like Pokemon to come? Any cool runs? to come anytime soon.
Do we have Pokemon runs here? Let me see.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you got some spicy ones coming up.
I am
Oh
messing.
yeah,
with
we
these
do.
maps.
We got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of the Sky randomizer right after this run, and also Pokemon Platinum to end the marathon. Forgot about those. The 2 Pokemon runs we have in this marathon.
My 2 favorite
Be sure to stick
Pokemon
around
games.
for those.
Yeah, actually, high key, those 2 Pokemon games kind of lit.
Yeah,
So,
they are.
that was actually really nice to know because I actually didn't know what the schedule was looking like for the end.
I've never actually seen a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon run, let alone a randomizer, so I'm excited for that one. In particular, the Platinum run, I think that's being ran by Kingdom Hearts speedrunning community trader Etchy, so I mean that I might just go to sleep for that.
Oh,
But,
never mind then. Yeah, I'm good.
Here's I think, Logic, you found this tech where you stay against this invisible wall here. I'm almost
Yes.
positive you did. So let's
Yeah.
take
So-
it away.
Basically, Lump is a pretty dangerous fight because the man never staggers and kind of does his own thing. And the idea of what Yida's doing right now is we need to keep Mike safe because Mike can do a move where he pumps up the team, which increases your DPS. And if you're kind of hovering around the arena, Mike's moving with you, and Lump's going to be all over the place. So being up there keeps Mike safe and you safe, and keeps Lump under your thumb. And then when he goes into the second phase, we want to just set up with a bunch of Ralph to then nuke all of his health that's remaining. Very nice.
Good fight.
This run's been like kind of solid. Yida.
Hate to tell you, but Monstropolis
What?
is really, really bad.
Oh, what,
Yeah,
you meme
They
towered?
don't know that. Just play it off like it was good.
Yeah. I mean, Yida, pretend you're using the bad strats.
I mean, I am like 10 minutes ahead of my PB right now.
That lump was insane, though, I will say.
That was a very nice lump here.
Right, Ida? It was a good lump, right?
No, I mean yes.
Say yes!
Yidamoda, Yida.
Oh my god.
I shared it to the world. They can do whatever they want with the song.
What do you have in the marathon? As well as the video. It's a good video.
We're playing it on the next intermission screen before next run.
Alright, now we're actually moving to, in my opinion, I don't know, maybe Yida will testify against, but probably one of the scariest worlds in the run, being Arendelle or Frozen. So we get to build. Oh wait, we actually do get to build a snowman.
Logic,
That's
it's not that
that's crazy.
scary. Just let it go, man.
You know what? You're right. Maybe the cold didn't bother me anyway.
Just for that, I'm not skipping that cutscene.
That was a
Yeah,
reference to the Frozen song "Let It Go."
You guys, you should pause the marathon and go watch Frozen to catch up on what this world would be like, and then come back and do it for the remaining worlds too.
Do you
Thank
play
you.
the Heartless or after her?
This world is interesting. It does have a good number of fights, but the other thing is it probably has the most movement of any world on the run. Maybe Olympus may have more, about the same, but especially later in the world and at the beginning here, there's a long period where it's nothing but movement, and we have found and optimized really cool movement paths throughout Arendelle. This is only, a small bit of what you'll be seeing to come later on. But we got another troll. We're going to use Ralph here. Who would have guessed it?
That's crazy,
Dude.
man.
Hopefully, I don't know if you can one-shot it on level 1. I don't remember, but we're going to get it super low and finish it off with like shot locks and maybe Simba as cleanup. But yeah, he went back to the start of the room so that the troll would, he'd bait the troll to rock, to walk to him. You did one-shot it. Let's go! To walk to him. And
Didn't even know you could do that, so there's the theory proven.
well, I've been running this game on level 1 since like early 2019, mid, I don't know. But since 2019, and you're saying that's the first time you've seen that? That's insane. I mean, I've never seen it,
Yeah,
but like marathon luck, holy crap!
my favorite thing is watching something crazy happen and then watching the stream and watching Yida's facial expressions.
Yida makes the best
Oh,
facial
this
expressions.
is why you forced me to use cam, didn't you?
They
Wanted
killed
to
me.
bring out
crazy.
this.
Wait, what? We do not
well-
force people to use cam at Pokemon speedrunning diversity
I mean, I happily use cam. I want to show
Yida,
my
Yida,
beautiful expressions.
Yida, I just muted stream again. If you say that again, severe punishments will come.
Listen,
Okay.
they got my family hostage. Please, just play along. We got only 2 hours left. Just play along.
This is your only warning. Unmuting. So anyway, we got Simba here, and as I said, Simba's going to be a powerful link in this world. We got 4 ninja fights here. We're going to do the same strat over and over again. Walk around and roar with Simba to whittle their health down to around 50% and lower. Use the finisher to kill them all there. The finisher killing is not consistent because Simba's AoE is relatively small, especially compared to Meow Wow, and the ninjas tend to run around super quickly and all over the place, but luckily they all grouped up for that finisher and managed to kill them all. More movement down here to the next ninja fight, where it is going to be the exact same thing.
These fights actually kind of suck because Yida is basically doing these rules to kind of soften them up and then doing the finisher to hopefully catch them all. But sometimes they can just run out of the finisher's range.
Yeah,
I
not to
think,
mention
well-
their health, like, might not even be within the one-shot range for the finisher.
Yeah,
Yeah, that can happen too.
like here.
Oh my god.
Christ.
Oh, what? You said like here, and I was actually watching the stream on the Twitch stream channel. And I saw one at full health, and I was like, you just did the finisher, oh my god. But then I realized he was still in Simba Roy. I was like, he popped 2 ethers and went back into another Simba. So Yida air step to make this room fix so that we could actually progress. And then this is at least to me, relatively new tech where he save warps out of the world and goes back in, and that makes it so that it's instantly in the right spot. Usually you have to wait like, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds for it to work. But the advent of PC where loads are super fast, and we also use load remover as the official time, where it stops during like load screens. That's how load removers work. I don't know why I explained that. But that makes it a good chunk faster and worth it to do, as opposed to console where loads were extremely slow, especially on base PS4. But yeah, another little thing to pole spin to progress on. Got another rail section, which this rail is even scarier than Monstropolis. So just going to do some air slides and kill all these enemies, just so that they don't kill him, because that is very easy to happen. And very good job. Heading into the last ninja fight. What'd you say?
Got a lot of drops as well, which is good.
Yeah. This is the last ninja fight. And right after this, oh no, we got dragons and then the movement. We got a little extra movement after this to go to dragons. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and then dragons. We'll get there when we get there. No.
Donald.
Yep. Even the partial shot lock of Ever After, as you see, even at level 1, just absolutely devastates enemies. So, I don't remember if you grab these chests. Yeah.
Must be the exit.
To get a piece of armor and a Damascus for Keyblade upgrades. Yida picks up a few pieces of armor throughout this run, not to wear them, to sell them later on, to let us buy more ethers. As we've said, ethers are super tight in level 1, and we want as many as we can. Have we even talked about air slide chaining logic and how that works?
We haven't.
Yeah, you can talk about that because you're very good at it, and I am very not.
Oh, thank you. Basically, SI chaining is one of those things where it's really sick to pull off, and not pulling off is probably the most depressing thing. And it's actually pretty lenient in Arendelle because of the way the snow is placed. The idea of it is when you air slide, you are counted as in the air, even though you're sliding across the floor. So if your timing is tight with it, within the small window that you're falling from the air slide on the floor, you're actually able to get another air slide out. And the nice thing about Arendelle is like there are little snow hills that kind of put you up in the air, so you can just continue air slide training, which was used a lot throughout the run, and I feel like a dum-dum for not mentioning it.
Wait, Arendelle? Air slide?
Oh,
Arendelle? This
Oh,
was
no.
intended.
the more
Yeah. This dragon section, if you played this game, it's notoriously hated, and for good reasons. You can die very easily on this in just a couple of hits. We only got one dragon right now, but as it goes on, the next two will join the fray, and at some point you'll have 3 dragons shooting beams at you in rapid succession. The key to this, to make this not so scary, and maybe Yida can speak that he feels more relaxed on this now at this point because he knows how to do it. But the key to this is to minimize your movement with the when you're dodging the lasers, and just try to stick to the middle of the room to have you more room to go left and right. If you do those 2 things, it becomes a lot less stressful, and you feel a lot more in control of this. But yeah, it's a very long auto slider section. Nobody likes it, but it's downtime in the run for you to just, I don't know, take a break once you get comfortable with this. Talk to your chat, whatever.
Yeah.
And I really hope you don't die in the next 5 seconds after I say all this.
It's a nice
Which
break.
you're not known to do, but can he no damage? Is he gonna do it? Oh, that was close. Hey, this next part of the slider section, this part, I love this part. This part is so much fun, in my opinion. You just slide down to the bottom of the mountain, and there is a lot of money on the way. One thing about KH3 is they just rain you in money, just all over the place throughout this run, especially since we got that gold amulet to make money worth more. That doesn't apply here because it's already big money, or the biggest form of the currency. It's like, it's the silver dollar, when otherwise, when it's not, it would be a penny, or excuse me, what is it? What do you guys call it? A pence?
Pence, penny.
Yeah.
Pennies are pointless. Why don't we just get rid of the penny? I feel like a lot of countries have gotten rid of like their lowest form of currency that's only worth 1 penny, but we still have it for some reason.
That's true. But then they'll round it to the pound.
You're saying if we got rid of the penny, the consequence would be us switching to the pound?
And the consequence.
Never mind. Pennies. Pennies stay.
No, wait, whoa, hold on.
Dear God, no.
Hold on. This actually, even though we're memeing about pennies, this money that you just picking ain't no chump change. This actually really helps him out later in the run when you tell bulk buy a bunch.
It's worth like 2 ethers.
Well, damn.
It's got to be. An ether's 200. That's.
Yeah, it's really just worth like 2 ethers.
Durgans. Simba.
Frost jump.
Simba Fire. Dragon's Ice. You do the math. Doing the roar, which as you see keeps them staggered. Take it away, Lod.
No, I was gonna say the fun thing about these bosses is they actually break one wing on the roar, but it doesn't break the second. Because when you break the second wing, they actually go into the ground and become grounded enemies. So it's actually really nice that Yida can roar and not worry about turning them into grounded enemies. But the explosion from the finisher, the explosion from the finisher makes them grounded enemies, and now it becomes this like difficult spot.
Surprised that enemy didn't stay staggered with those roars there. Again, wow, that sucks. You don't want to see him going underground like this. It's unfortunate, but you know, dragons will be dragons.
Oh my god.
And that is Simba's radius, by the way. Luckily, it lingers a bit, and you see it's doing some damage. Oh wow, that's. Well, I guess it's level 1, so the damage isn't as much as I would think.
Mhm.
I've ran level 1 and practiced it and helped a little bit with the routing. I was primarily a critical mode runner where you level up. Just to give you guys some background, Logic ran the easy category. It's, it's just that's just kind of speedrunner he is, I guess.
Yep. Big old baby, so you know me.
It's a bit, guys. We stand running beginner and easy categories. 1, they're usually the fastest, and 2, they're a lot of fun, and 3, even like at the top level, just because it's easy mode doesn't mean it's a hard or an easy speedrun.
Mm-hmm.
We span easy categories. We span. Logic, I need another minute.
Basically, that was really impressive backpedaling if I've ever heard that. We hate beginner. No, the thing is with KH3, Yida is doing an incredible job showing off level 1. And a lot of the categories for KH3 actually offer a lot of merit and uniqueness. So, if you're, you know what, hey, if you're a speedrunner for your own game, and there are some side categories, maybe some miscellaneous stuff, give it a cheeky little try. Look into it, you never know. And, yeah, Simba's back, which is our unique Link. Very cool, never seen him before. The idea here is clearing out the 2 waves and the finisher. Hopefully it clears out everything.
That's rare on this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow.
Yeah,
Not just
I have so many like attempts where the one satyr would just run to the other side of the earth and never come back.
Yeah, or a batch just like taking off to Mars real quick. Right, Etchi? Yeah, if you guys didn't realize, Square Enix, they let us know of this like a month ago. We just couldn't talk about it. But they generously lined up the announcement of KH4 with this event so that we can help promote each other. So shout outs to Square Enix.
Yida was gonna run KH4, but there was some difficulties.
The testing release wasn't ready yet, unfortunately. We're super bummed about that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And Yida just said, okay, like we'll try and find something else. And when we asked, what's like the worst category we could show off, and we were like, Eureka. We got this one. But this is a really cool category. I really like this category.
Well, that was backpedaling on the worst category. This is
buddy. Yeah, this is a fun category. You're just doing a very good job showing it off. I know damn well if I tried this, I would be death looping. It's still in toy box at this point, so a lot of rep for Yida. Doing a really good job so far.
There will be a Dark Road speedrun later. It's called Pokemon Platinum, where the runner took the Dark Road to leaving the KH speedrunning scene.
That is a very dark road. Going to Pokemon. I'll put a target on my back now.
Yida's movement is very crisp, actually. Yida is very good. It's so much fun to watch Yida do movement. He's just like perfected it and gotten really good at it during his time running this game in particular. Of course he got good at running this game in particular. It's the game where you do it. Your short experience running KH2FM beginner, getting sub 3 in that, how much did that help you improve your movement in KH3 speedrunning? That's a joke.
I mean,
I completely forgot that we were doing Marshmallow and just didn't talk about that at all.
I got better at KH3 movement running KH1 actually. KH1 has more movement.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting, just from like timing your dodge rolls in KH1 and stuff like that.
Combo skip. The hardest movement of them all.
Yeah, that's true.
I never engage one, by the way.
Yeah, a little bit more movement in here. We're about to get Marshmallow as our party member for this world, who's with us for the last boss. Super cool. Like probably the most unique party member in the series, where we got this giant hulking ice monster with us, sometimes blocking our camera. But I was really like, I had never seen Frozen when I played Cage 3 originally. I saw it after the fact, so I didn't know. Obviously, I knew about it because it was like a sensation, but I didn't know Marshmallow was a character. So when he joined our party, especially after fighting him as a boss, I was just like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome!" And you know what's also awesome? The final boss of this world and its speedrun strat. This one is really cool. Arguably the coolest one in the speedrun. Consistent, very precise, but also super consistent when you do it right. Going to be, I don't know if we've talked about stagger endurance. We don't need to touch on it too much, but basically, as you deal certain attacks to enemies, be it usually magic finishers or finishers in general, and shot locks, like the Ever After shot lock, big enemies that normally wouldn't stagger become susceptible to stagger after you do enough of those hits to it. They'll be susceptible for about 10 seconds before they'll recover and go back to having super armor. But we're going to utilize Ever After shot lock, where it's it does 28 hits, and it's going to be timed so that as the enemy recovers, Ever After shot lock is going to be hitting Skull here and immediately break that stagger endurance again and reset that 10-second time where we can stagger it. And we're going to do that the entire fight, to the point that the only attack he's going to get off is his opening charge here. Unless fire whiffs randomly. I haven't had that issue. You have to do more on level 1, but yeah. Going back, just opening with the shot lock as he's charging. And then Yida is going to pop a refocuser to get back to close to full focus. Get close to the center of the room. Do a fire combo with an empty hit at the beginning to save MP. And during the finisher, buffer a shot lock. Yes. Use a combo that's arrow, fire, arrow, fire. The arrow is going to instantly stagger him. Ooh. Oh, shoot.
Oh my god, I am...
No, he's so... Oh, yo.
Marshmallow!
Marshmallow, the play!
Please, hit it. No, there's no way. I'm gonna die and try again.
Yeah, it'd be worth it at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so... That sucks. Oh, see, this is not what you want to see. This is the worst DM sequence you can get in the game. It's very drawn out. It's very rough. And when you finish the DM, you don't really get too much of a chance to continue the strat. Because everything is... Oh, the Moogle coin too!
Yeah. Well, that's not necessarily true, because he does give you an opening where he just stands around and you can recover it.
Okay, fair enough.
Only if you have, like, you haven't used most of your items and your resources are fine. But at this point, it's better to just die, especially to showcase the strat in the marathon setting. I can be quiet, Ida, if that helps.
No, I think the issue there was just not getting the 28. That is the hardest 28 to get in the entire fight.
Yeah, the strat only works if you get the full 28 shot lock to keep breaking his stagger endurance. And oh, he died from the charge.
Oh, what's the
There we go. This is the head pattern. No, not even. It moved the other way.
Okay, this is still work. So yeah, Yida wants to do a loop of arrow and fire. The arrow is to instantaneously like cast on him, so he's able to get the stagger off, and the fire is like a timing sequence. Oh, dude. This is unfortunate, honestly. Like, the stagger is what gets it, honestly, because the shot lock is very precise. You want it to take a 28 to do the full shot lock, and if he like slips out of your shot lock, you can I think you just lose if it gets to a certain point. Alright, Yida's gonna play this one out. For this, you want to attack all these little flying heads until you get the prompt, and then the prompt will let you continue on with the fight.
Good thing about these is they drop focus orbs, refill your focus, so don't have to worry about throwing an item to get more focus back.
I'm here.
And as I mentioned earlier, after this animation sequence where Marshmallow and Sora save the world, Skull's just going to be in the middle of the room, just idle, give us a free opening with the shot lock, and get right back into it.
I'm a little worried Yida won't be able to finish it, because he doesn't have too many items on him. But
I have one in
hopefully...
it, so-
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. There is a backup with Simba, if you're low. Oh, you still have the elixir, nice. He's probably going to go into another howl animation here, but that's a part of the last part of the strat anyway, I think. No, you kept him staggered. So yeah,
Nice.
that head pattern happened. You can react to getting that head pattern where he staggers in that way. It does make it a bit harder to actually aim because the fires knock his head all over the place and can easily get knocked out of your shot lock reticle.
It's just kind of weird that Skull. Never have any second thoughts about getting 28, so it's so weird to have trouble twice in a row like that. I just forgot that was even a problem.
It's all good.
But it's all for showcase.
Yep.
Marathon.
Quick donation, $15 from Dips, random Dips in chat. Shout outs to Dips again. $15. Comment, the missing link in Cage 4 is Big Den. Amazing. The missing link being the title of the mobile game they also announced before KH4. That was clever, Dips. Very well done.
Thank you, Dips.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, that doesn't play in this game. God.
Whoopsie.
I wish they would have played it at least for at least one fight. That would have been cool. An updated version of it. All right, so coming up, we got a fight against two Anchor Raiders. Checking chat. Is B-Boy here? B-Boy is here. Okay, Anchor Raiders are amazing. They're the best enemy in the game. Super fair enemies. I love Anchor Raiders. Is B-Boy still here?
Here comes some more.
Crap.
Let's get for the shower, we gotta find him.
God, no. I gotta keep talking good. I'm just kidding. It's common in the community to hate Anchor Raiders because they are a very tough enemy to deal with. Thankfully, we have shot locks to deal with them, but still, this fight, they can kill you. Actually, they can one-shot you with pretty much everything on level 1, and they have wrist. Oh boy!
I think I jumped like super hard.
God, that dodge roll was like.
Yida, please.
Oh man!
Hold on, I
Yida's
just need
reaction
to
time.
clean the wet puddle on my chair.
I'm freaking out because I'm scared. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't fought them in a while, so I'm scared. But Yida, I keep forgetting just how good of a player he is and quick reaction time to cancel a shot lock and dodge roll. Literally, I'm pretty sure that dodge roll was like a frame perfect dodge roll.
Honestly, this world is just full of fights that get your heart rate going up. It's
Yeah.
the scariest.
And similar to Toy Box, how Toy Box gimmick was utilizing the mechs for a lot of fights. Here we have the ship. The ship, which we're going to see our first ship fight, a tutorial to it. Basically, excuse me. We have these enemy ships. They have 2 green orbs. Or I think these ones have 1, but they usually have 1 on each side or 2 total. And shooting your cannons at those orbs will one-shot them, or at least deal a good chunk of damage for the higher tier orbs. But we got another really cool fight. I can't even bid about this one. Never mind. It's this fight's pretty bad. it's dangerous, but Yida especially has gotten good enough as a player to know how to play this safe and fast at the same time. But it's just a long fight, and it's not very fun. I don't know. Do you have fun, Yida?
After doing it for so long, you kind of appreciate the small things, like this fight. Not the rainbow guys, though; they're the worst.
Oh yeah, those rainbow guys, that rainbow squadron, those are that's the dangerous part. If you see Yida shooting these fire torpedoes, which scale with fire damage, so do you have a fire cufflink on? I don't know if you put that on.
Yeah, so I equipped fire cufflink to give myself fire boost, and these torpedoes scale on fire damage. So we are getting a 20%, I believe it's 20% increase in damage.
And in most cases in this fight, it is faster to spam torpedoes and shoot in between. What we do is we press circle to shoot the torpedoes, and we hold down R1 so that if there's any time between torpedoes, that we shoot like a bullet or so to just keep doing some damage to them. And you stun them twice throughout the fight. We did it once there. You saw it once there, and what they intended for you to do was use the situation command to jump on his back and go through this thing where you hop up to his head and start attacking its head and guarding while it's doing its attack, which is definitely the safest way to do this fight, and you do a good chunk of damage. I said do. You do a good chunk of damage during it. The thing is, like, there's some little mini animations and cutscenes at play that make it really slow for the speedrun, so we just literally keep flying it to its back and spamming torpedoes until it recovers.
Not to mention our low strength as well.
Yeah. He's giving you some good patterns.
Yeah, this is very tame. The worst case scenario is he'll, as I touched on, he'll just kind of leave. And you're kind of just playing a chasing game.
Yeah. Which, like, that's terrible because you have to chase after him. All of your torpedoes are whooped, so you can only shoot bullets at it until you get closer again. That's one bad scenario. The other one is where he plays super aggressive against you. He kind of has like 3 different patterns, maybe more, but 3 noticeable ones where he was just in the pattern where he was attacking Sora with rockets and spinning. He just changed to the one where it's supposed to be switching to the Black Pearl, but it's going into the 3rd pattern that we touched on where he just flies away for some reason.
And I can't chase with the torpedo, so I just have to shoot normally like this.
Yep. And that Rainbow Squadron that we talked about, that's super dangerous, it is on a timer. And I don't know the exact timer, but once you do this fight enough, you get a feel for it for when they're going to spawn. So that you can react and not die.
Managed to keep the Kipper going too, which can be useful for later spots. Once we get the Mog card, it acts as sort of a weird ether / elixir we can use. So if there are any fights where we might need to restore MP but we don't have ethers, we can just intentionally die, quote unquote, and get the refill.
While Yida's swimming, he is picking up an adamantite here, which is that's the last synthesis Keyblade upgrade material we're going to get, which you're going to see us use here in a second. But I have a quick donation, $25 from Etchy, who says, Kingdom Hearts 3 speedruns have changed my life in so many ways. That's touching, Etchy. We're so happy to hear that. Looking forward to the day that you come back.
Makes me tear up a bit.
I know. I need a minute.
Changed my life too.
I know. It's beautiful.
So yeah,
she's always in touch with his roots.
So we save word back to this place where there's a Moogle shop to buy more food, the next tier of food that unlocked with this world. I don't maybe buy ethers. I didn't see if you did, but importantly, use that material we picked up to upgrade Upgrade, baby. Upgrade Ever After 2 more times, and that's the last time we'll be upgrading Ever After.
Oops.
It now has 10 magic, which is a lot of magic. Upgrade, and now we will fight a giant fish.
Ah, yes. Fish food. So this fight is actually really dependent on your party members, because you do not carry enough ethers to do the fight on your own. And so you kind of have, your party members have ethers on them that you're kind of hoping they toss on you, but Donald and Goofy are both dead, so it's a little bit of a difficult spot. Hopefully Goofy gets back up by the time Yida runs out of ethers himself. But it can get a little scary. It's just gonna be... Alright, avoiding that's a very dangerous attack.
Donald should come with the ether. Please.
Oh,
Donald!
Goofy.
Donald!
Someone!
Donald!
No! Throw it! Donald! There we go, Donald! There we go. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's
Alright.
also why at the start I intentionally set them to use items as as frequently as possible, and only to Sora. Because otherwise they could have used it on each other, and that would have been wasted ethers as well.
Mm-hmm. Real quick. Oh, that's another fumble. Okay, now we're up to 5 or 4. As I said in chat, if somebody could keep track of how many times I fumble my words, that would be great, because for each fumble at the end of this run, I will donate $5. We are at 20 so far.
Mmm. Oh, damn.
If you want to see me spend all of my money, be sure to keep track of that, because I will forget.
Mm-hmm. Now we get to a point where you just start combining languages together.
I start talking so sophisticated, like Gary in the Dream episode of SpongeBob. There once was a man in Peru who dreamed he was eating his shoe. He awoke with a fright in the middle of the night to find that his dream had come true.
Well, that was crisp. But you see, the problem here is that was crisp, but now you're donating less money. So you're in the sweet spot, aren't you?
Hey, you know, it's for a good cause.
True. I also, hopefully I don't fumble my words too much. I might have to join in on that, because I have not been like Gary today. Been
Gary?
very dopey.
I didn't even break the orb. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Time to see if I can get it.
So basically,
Go on,
this
Flutter.
this is a Loxid race. You can actually destroy a Loxid ship and you get an item for it, which is kind of cool. But the goal of this is just to race into the finish with all these ships spawning. The color of the orb actually dictates what reaction commands you'd get. And Yida wants Tailwind, which is a green orb reward, which gives him just a speed boost in the bottom right. You can see the speed speedometer. Basically like he's driving a manual on the road. And getting Tailwind knocks it up to max speed. And near the end he wants to try and get a... I don't know the official name of the term, but it's like a slamming reaction command.
Oh, tidal wave.
Tidal wave,
I mean,
that's it.
it's not necessary, but if you happen to get it, it's best to use it at the end instead of earlier. It's actually better to not get it at all.
Now,
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
ship
she's cool,
spawns are random, and it could either be a blue ones or green ones. But yeah, ship fight.
yes. So, right now, Yida wants to get a trifecta of commands. So he just wants to wail on all of the ships, and taking out the mast of Lux's ship slows him down and does a good bit of damage, and gives him all those reaction commands. So he's got Tidal Wave for the big damage, which will proc a little cinematic of Lux's ship shooting these cannons up, and then Yida will now just do both of these reaction commands on the ship to finish the fight. It can be a little scary because these wind shots can sometimes drift to some other ships if they're far away, but you did a good job. Oh,
I've always thought about what Luxord's thinking on that ship when he just sees us destroy his sails and wombo combo him. Just destroy him. It's like, well,
well, that's why he bounces when you
Plan
get
B.
on the ship.
another anchor raider. We'll see 2 more in this fight, actually.
Yep.
Very dangerous, but we have shot locks, and he is winding up. Nice dodge. Looks like 2 shot locks will kill them. There you go. And now I'm just going to clean up.
Throw an ether.
Go on.
Ether.
Yeah. There you go. Now we're just going to do these next 2 waves by casting some Thundagas. It's an AoE with long range. It also procs Thundaza, which is a bigger AoE with a bigger range. And after he kills his last enemy, 2 more will spawn here. Pop an ether to go into a aerial, the intended strat, and just destroy these guys with aerial, which, as you see, is a very good link for enemies that will stay around you and you're able to hit. We'll see more of aerial later. But these anchor raiders are giving him some pretty good luck by just staying put around him.
Yeah, no shame in redoing aerial, because
I want them to do a certain attack.
oh yo, he's leaning. He's leaning, bro.
That is not the attack I wanted. Fine.
Okay.
You wanted to do the like super fast stab they use to get right into the water bullets.
I won't lie, Yuda, I didn't know that you found this strat with aerial on level 1, and I thought you mistakenly went aerial instead of Simba, like every runner has done on that fight.
I mean,
I just tried to play it off like, yeah, this is what he meant to do, but then you did it again. I was like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Simba's safer, but Ariel's high risk, high reward.
Good night, Dips.
Good night, Dips.
Have a good one, Dips. We will be giving personalized goodnight messages to everyone in chat. It is getting late for the Europeans, so keep the lurk. We always appreciate all the love.
Logic, you're missing out on your famous crab route.
Oh, you see. Now this is actually a combined effort because Yida actually helped construct this route. So the idea of it is the objective is to get 300 crabs to like power up the ship again, but there is a level up. The ship has a leveling system at 500 crabs, and so the idea is we want to get 500 crabs, which will automatically teleport us to the ship and give us the ship to level 2, which gives us Tailwind on tap as a 3. Oh, sorry, 3 to give us Tailwind on tap. So we will be able to just always be at max speed, whereas if we only get 300, we have to always roll a little under max speed. And
Except now the Tailwind's renamed to Surge for some reason.
true, yeah.
I love going to my favorite brewery and ordering some Tailwind on tap.
On tap, bro.
Craft Tailwind.
The KBM Crab Snatcher.
Oh yeah, that's
Reliable classic.
amazing. Like find by KBM, who used to run this category, and may come back one day. We'll see. But
Who knows?
using the favorite deputy shot lock on those barrels, surprisingly, you're able to actually shot lock them because I think it's because they have crabs in them. It allows you to shot lock them because you normally can't shot lock barrels and boxes. But with that kills all the barrels and also collects all the crabs, or most of the crabs they're dropping, and keeps you protected from the anchor raider enemies and everything else that spawns, because they will kill you very quickly. Yep. That find was really, really valuable find by KBM for crit and the other categories you can easily die on.
So I love the voice acting by the NPC. It's interesting.
Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna make our way to the last ship fight against Luxord before the final boss. Ida, do you do this in one visit now? I think you do, right?
Yeah, it's one visit.
Oh, okay. The route used to be that we would do the last ship fight, then save warp out to go do San Fran to get you get a couple magic boosts in San Fran and also Firaga, which makes Davy Jones a lot faster and easier. But we found that it's faster now to just do Caribbean in one go and kill Davy Jones with a well-built Ralph. And Yida found a consistent setup to keep him staggered and go into his second Ralph, because it's impossible to kill Davy Jones in one Ralph, unfortunately. But Yida, with the smart thinking, found a way to keep him staggered before the second Ralph by utilizing counter kick, and we'll get to that. But Yida's going into this last fight with an almost full gauge just to get as situation commands the super pirate ship attacks as early as possible. Yeah, gonna go to the left side. There's 3 ships per side. This fight we have a blueprint to how to do it, especially in the second phase, but first phase has a lot of RNG in what the ships decide to do.
They are really not letting me see the orbs.
Yeah. Thankfully, you have Surge, which we did. The old route didn't have Surge for this because we only did the bare minimum 300 crabs in Port Royal. But shout out to Yida and Logic for finding that 500 crab route, because not only did it make getting to this fight faster, it made this fight just better to deal with in general. If the ships are cooperating, you can quickly maneuver around them with Surge.
Alright, I got a tidal wave, but they aren't very grouped up, which is a problem.
I think this will be fine.
Pretty grouped up. Yeah. So this strat here is you built up the 3 reaction commands. Logic were dirty liars. I didn't even see those outliers, but this is fine. You can just clean them up with wind chasers. We don't need wind chasers. The biggest thing is having raging cannons for this last phase, and it's pretty cool. I'll just let it play out here.
Yeah.
Hear my call. Keep going, Sword.
Just going to do a couple hits of raging cannons. We don't want to kill that orb, because killing it immediately gives us another raging cannons to finish off the last ones.
Very nice.
Yep. And that is consistent. And thank God it is. Because if he despawns, or all the ships despawn and then they respawn, all the ships are body blocking Luxord and just going all out trying to kill you. And it's very annoying to get them, because Luxord will despawn very quickly again and just repeat that over and over again. So shout outs to whoever found that strat on the ships. Yeah, I lied. This is the last ship fight technically, but there's one ship we blow up, but our main target here is the Kraken.
So again, like, the idea of it is the red orb giving you raging cannons. You can't get anything besides raging cannons here, and the idea of it is that the cannonball from raging cannons puts down the barrier, which lets you kind of wail on them. A little fun fact that not many people knew, including myself, about this fight until like a little bit into the run of this game, is you can actually change the speed of your ship with the analog stick, where you can go to a snail's pace or at semi-max speed.
I'm so mad that it took me until like halfway in my career speedrunning KH3 to realize that. I would just like, that if I got the spawn behind me, I would just be like, all right, well, I hope this hits. Because it was super far away.
Spray and pray.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're getting to a very scary fight here. So the idea here is Yida wants to damage down and then Ralph. Yida cannot Ralph immediately, so he wants to just empty out his resources before, like using the Ralph. So yeah, double limit, and then knocking him up to be sure he's in a good spot, and then either buffering to double Ralph in a panic if he needs to. And this is a very difficult spot. Yida got some good blocks, thankfully, but it was always a little worrying when he's like in a corner.
Oh
But
no, I don't know if that will hit.
I think that works.
Did I lie, by the way? Yeah, you ether buffer, so you don't need to counter kick. Yeah, I did lie.
No, the 4-way!
What, dude? Scarfed.
Is this a double DM? Is he in the health?
I'm gonna die and try
Yes.
again.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is double DM range.
Yeah, that's the thing about Davy Jones is he has 2 DM thresholds. This is the first DM, and if he's knocked into the second DM threshold, he will do his first DM and then immediately do his second.
Mm-hmm.
It is heartbreaking.
One of the biggest run killers about about Ralph is it can randomly spawn different first blocks, and the 4-way block has the shortest range. So if you're just slightly too far away from Davy Jones, you can't catch him with the 4-way block, and well, you're kind of boned.
You lose.
You don't want to build too close to him as well, otherwise you could hit the block as you spawn it, and you could hit him with the block as you spawn it, and that will trigger him to teleport away and start DMing.
One thing we haven't talked about this because it's not a big part of KH3 speedrun is revenge value, and this is the first boss I think in the entire run where revenge value is actually a thing. If you know about it, that's another fumble. If you know about it from 2FM, you know how it works. But long story short, basically, if you hit enemies enough and stagger them, they will eventually retaliate. So shot locks, we did a couple hits, like the hit Rising Spiral, that adds to revenge value. Shot locks also add revenge value, too. And little not known fact about Ralph's blocks is being in the lights adds revenge value over time. And as Yida said, you could like just slightly mismove Ralph and push him out of the blocks, and his revenge value will be at the point where he would retaliate and just immediately do his little retaliation move, teleport under, DM. If he's low, double DM. Very bad. Don't want to see it, but that was a good fight there, Yida.
Yeah, that was a good Ralph setup. It'd be a different story if he can't teleport, and after retaliating, he just immediately gets caught by the light again, but because he can escape like that, it's really risky to build Ralph blocks super close to him. Since if you do that and trigger is revenge, that is just one simple way to kill the run immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to do something.
Ooh, what did you forget? Menu.
Yeah, so...
You can menu in space, by the way, guys, if you didn't know that, just by pressing the options button. While we're flying to this next world, got a $10 donation from Linux, who says, "Cheers for that crisp poem from Gary's stream," referring to the poem I did. And I appreciate that. Glad I impressed you. Thank you for the donation. Greatly appreciate it. The foundation, Able Gamers, appreciates it too. And I'm glad I could pull off that crisp poem, surprisingly, to get more money for Able Gamers. But what's the count at? I think we're at 5. We're at 5 fumbles.
Was it 5?
Yeah, we're at 5. We were at 4, but I fumbled during my last talk about Davy Jones, so now we're up to 5.
Oh, right, okay.
Which, yeah, 5 times $5 is $5, so I already have to donate $5. God, my wallet.
Okay. Well, you know what? The wallet would be crying right now, but of course.
Yeah, it is. It's just... You can talk about Bridge while I sulk. And contact my financial advisor to just figure out this situation.
Mm-hmm. So, Bridge is just about taking out the turrets to progress the fight, and this is where Aerial really shines because they're a big stationary enemy. Oh. Well, I said stationary, but man's going for a little jog. He's going for his morning jog, can't blame the man. The Aerial really shines against stationary. Big, stationary, slow enemies are easy pickings for Aerial. As you saw there. And Aerial will actually be our used, well, not most used, but Aerial will be definitely a common summon for a majority of the endgame. Because in endgame, a lot of the bosses kind of bulk in size. Oh, now we get to the good stuff. So this is actually a little part of the story. It's like the moment where all the superheroes are kind of testing their powers and stuff. And the tech for this is actually really interesting, even though it's a quote-unquote aura scroller.
You gotta keep up, Sora.
Basically, you kind of cycle through the heroes. That you don't need to go through any of the rings, so Yida will be just cutting the corners, going for the best angles. And this is where, at this point in beginner and other categories, you would have all your growth that you started off with crit at the beginning. So it's really cool that the movement is identical between categories from this point. Yeah, Yida just wants to follow the marker and go for a really cool bit of tech here with an air step, where he air steps down into the ring instead of going up through it. What the? Okay.
This game's wonderful.
This game's amazing. Now he wants to just dance over the rooftops and go through the area. There is a massive invisible wall that prevents you from like skipping a building, so you gotta go build in a building. You know what? Sub 1's pretty strong, brother.
Yeah, that's the first time I've gotten sub 1 ever. It was because of that weird like thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Now, the problem with... Well, we get Stitch now, which is our last summon, and we're gonna use it in the next fight. The problem with the next fight is how inconsistent these enemy moves, which could turn either everything to a... Oh, that's the wrong thing. I could either turn everything into a quick one-shot kill with Stitch, or a really messy cleanup, so I'm hoping for everything to just instantly die.
This is a fun one. You basically make the area and kind of catch everything. It goes in a cycled motion of the first square you completed to the last one, and because Yida only did 2, it kind of bounces back and forth.
That's really good. There we go.
Ooh, man, that's a tidy.
100% consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Another fight where we utilize aerial. Kind of a theme in this world, and when I say theme, I think it's only 2 bosses, but still. Good showcase of just how powerful aerial is against enemies that will just stay in the hitboxes. This boss, God, I would, in a theoretical world where we didn't have aerial, I'd be very interested to see the speedrun strats we'd have to do. I'd have to get creative, but thankfully we have aerial to just wreck the boss. Dropped its health down to enough to push the second phase where he jumps up on this building. You cannot kill him, unfortunately, in the first phase. Air step up to him and...
That's scary.
Yeah, kill with some shot locks here. I believe, will this one kill it? I'm not entirely familiar with level 1 shot lock damage. Just about. Partial will do the job here. And there's Fyraga. I don't think Fyraga, if I recall correctly, plays a major role in level 1 like other categories, but
It does. Just like not so much on Ralph strats, but whenever we need a spam shot locks a lot.
yeah, that's yeah, like Dark Cube's the next fight. Sorry, spoilers. High refocuser.
I didn't
And
press circle.
it's like, did they route out this match boost? And magic boost, and are you getting the elixir?
Yeah,
Yes.
money, safety.
And then killed. Oh no, not gonna get. That's fine. This is a time section. I think it's like a minute or something, where we can't really make faster. But luckily, there is so much money here, on all the light posts and everything that we farm some money here. Pick up that storm fan to save later. And then gonna kill all these lights on the lamppost. That vending machine drops a lot of money. Try this in real life. If you smash a street light, it will drop a lot of money. And we'll just don't don't tell anyone I told you that, okay? Especially, this isn't going to be the case, because obviously, why would it? But when the court order asks you, like you told you, it's just don't say anything, please.
So you heard it in a dream.
Mm-hmm. There once was a man in Peru.
Also, another thing you can do is, that would probably work, is that there's a vending machine that you can also hit for some money, and you know where I'm going with this one.
Yeah.
Put a rock through your local vending machine, and you know,
I know.
grab the pennies.
This is, like, in my opinion, one of, if not the most fun parts of the speedrun, Big Hero 6 Rescue. It is so cool, the route that we've made. Especially here on this second part. Yeah, it was us three in Discord that one day who made this new route here. On this
But
part.
I don't roll off that.
To get that another magic boost there and kill the rest of them. You saw that they each had a color that corresponds to the spell. And we're already at Fred. We already or almost broke Fred out before Honey Lemon even broke free, which is incredible. Going to the last one here.
Ignore my slip-ups. This was a great rescue.
It really is. This is still... I mean, the only slip-up, it wasn't even that major. This is still making really good time. And luckily, you can afford slip-ups on this, because you still gotta break the ball with the ball. If that makes sense on the last one. And
It's kind of a half auto scroller, but you do still want to get the ball towards the go-go ball as soon as possible.
But the thing is that, like, doesn't make it, you don't really lose any time or as much time in generals, because Go-Go is also, that gives Go-Go more time to roll towards you, and you can meet her halfway. And I haven't done the timing, but it seems like she rolls faster than you do, so that could honestly work out to just, like, not be a net loss or net gain, a time save. You know what I'm saying. Dark Cubes, go Logic. Recover. I'm trying to save my money.
So,
I didn't tent. That's a problem. And I have a Koopa coin too, which makes it worse.
okay, so Dark Cubes. Oh, that's a quick death. Actually, that's fine. Rage form, rage form, and pop like everything. Okay, that's fine.
Reset does change the fight, so it might not work anymore. Depends if I get lucky or not.
Okay, so here now, basically, Yida wants to shot lock for damage and then catch him in a nice loop. Again, Thunder is like an instantaneous spell, so it keeps him staggered. And he just wants to kind of loop this until he's in a good range for a shot lock again. And then after the shot lock, he'll be able to do another combo while keeping him staggered again. And then go for the clean up. Nice.
Yeah, funnily enough, this specific way of doing Dark Cubes is consistent on PC. Console does have a different way, but for some reason the console version just doesn't work here.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and on console we would save the shot lock at the very end, but here we have to do it in the middle to keep it staggered.
Got to be like a frame rate thing with how fast the fires travel. Stuff like that.
I tried on 30 FPS too, and it still doesn't work on the same way as console does. So I'm not really sure.
Some weird things that like just don't work on PC compared to console that we found. But luckily, there are workarounds for everything. Alright, I love this boss. I don't care what people say. I have a lot of fun, especially in the speedrun. It feels so satisfying to maximize your damage in this phase by changing your positioning to adjust for the bosses. I mentioned earlier in the run with the Tornado Titan, the buildings that you knock back to Tornado Titan scale their damage they do to the Titan based on how much damage they do to you, i.e. higher difficulties do more damage. Same with these blocks. You have to hit them back regardless on any difficulty because they block you from shooting the boss. But on beginner it deals like arguably chip damage, but on crit, as you can see, a good chunk is being taken off from the boss there. Cool little mechanic. But this phase is all about optimizing your position so that max amount of your bullets are able to hit the boss as you're flying around. These bullets do scale off your magic stat, so we've gotten our magic stat to a certain point to deal max damage here. Another little block phase, and that phases him to phase 2. We're able to fly around freely.
What?
And basically, we're just going to try to stay close to the boss so that most of our bullets are able to hit him. Beginner and other categories are able to just tank the boss's hits, but they will kill you very quickly on critical
It's
mode.
doing nothing. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the rare like passive pattern. You see, that attack in particular is devastating. So you do want to definitely dodge the attacks. But yeah, that was the only attack it did in that phase.
That is
Wow.
the quickest. Wow. Okay. Instant. Yeah.
Marathon look. Yeah, this is his quote-unquote desperation move. Flies around. Luckily, we can still damage him during it. Knock the get
Triple
up.
coin. Thank you. Wow. Whatever. Triple coin. That's what triple coin's for.
Yeah, just you see what I mean though. Just how quickly he will kill you on this fight. But yeah, basically stay close to him, hit all your bullets, dodge his attacks. And we are done with Disney for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a quick menu change, because up next we got Aqua.
Cream de la crepe.
Mm-hmm.
Agua.
Agua.
First, more
Agua.
stupid.
That's British for water.
Agua. So, as you just said, these upcoming fights are kind of stinky, in all honesty. They are very easy to kind of just fall apart, sometimes without even fault from the runner. So we're kind of hoping for good RNG as well as good play on Yida's part, and hopefully we see both.
Yep. Second time fighting the Demon Tower. Yida is actually going to not over damage. He
Oh.
has Yida found the attack?
Hey, you can keep going, sir.
Ignore what I said. Early, easy. Other categories, damage him to only like one, or they only take off about 1 bar to set up a certain DM skip. But it seems Yida has found tech I am not aware of that has a workaround for that.
So if you don't get hit by it, it shouldn't DM. Sometimes it still does, but it's kind of rare. Not super sure how it works.
Now Yida's gonna time a very precise shot lock to catch Aqua. I said Aqua, oh my god. Aqua. Aqua out of her attack, and now Yida wants to just kind of lay in on her. You're gonna be using a lot of fire, kind of build up Fearows, and then right before she goes to retaliate, Yida wants to go for a shot lock, I believe. Has that been changed? There we go. Okay, there we. Alright, there we go. So she is on the cusp of retaliating. The Fearows are kind of allowed to get staggered again. And there we go.
Yeah. Well, funny thing about Aqua or anti-Aqua is, I think this is how she worked in 0.2. But like the only boss mechanic or boss where you have an ability that actually doesn't add revenge value, it lowers revenge value. That's what Fire does on this fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just we can like shoot fires at her all day long and she won't retaliate. As long as we keep her staggered and she doesn't recover.
I'm gonna quickly equip Rune Ring back on as well. One to make MP consumption on 10k a lot less difficult to handle, but also I'm gonna be selling all my accessories later on, and I don't want to accidentally sell Rune Ring, so it's better to have it on Sora.
Yeah, definitely need that. Now we get to play as Aqua. This is probably my favorite fight in the run. Aqua versus Vanitas. Especially on critical mode where we have critical counter. Do you still do the melee strat, Yida? I've been watching the regular stream again instead of the Discord stream. Holy crap.
You wish.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, here Spellweaver is really good for DPS and keeping him in a. Oh, what the? Okay. So Spellweaver is really good for DPS and keeping him in a loop. The stagger is consistent, so Yida is able to effectively read what he's gonna do. It is a little scary with his health, but I think he should be fine.
No, Yida's fine. It's like Spellweaver, if you can keep high uptime, you can just constantly refresh Spellweaver and not losing, keep it for a long time. You see, we're eventually hitting revenge value on Vanitas, and he has 2 retaliations. One where he did there where he'll teleport away and do the you wish move and slam down on you. That's what we want to see because we can counter it for damage. The other one, I think he did it once, maybe twice, is where he jumps away, says nope, famous Vanitas line, and you just have to run up to him, catch him again, retaliate. But Vanitas is so much fun. Every runner loves Vanitas, except maybe beginner runners who do shot locks.
More cutscenes.
Yep. Like this is the longest sequence of cutscenes in the game, and this took like 3 minutes on console total between all the load times.
Yeah, so much faster on PC now.
The question in chat, I was
You got
Aqua. Yeah, Aqua. The only thing she takes is the food status that you have. She has a set customization, sorry, and set items for the fight. Same with Riku.
Yeah,
And,
set stats too, I think.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, like she has a set level. I don't think it changes depending on your level. Could be wrong.
Oh yeah,
So,
she's
yeah.
just level 50 by default.
Okay. So the only thing that is carried over from Sora to Aqua is the your food. And Yida has a really good. He has hearty meal, which increases his stats by 25%. So it's an extra stat, and he's got like good distribution between health, magic, strength, and mana. I said magic already. Oh.
You also said mana. This is an Elden Ring.
Mana.
It's called MP here.
FP.
Well, what's the acronym for MP? Mana points.
Mind
Magic
points.
point. Magic points, Lodge.
Mind.
There's no way it's magic
My
points
points.
in game. Whoa, but wait a minute, that's Elden Ring.
We're actually going to fight this gummy boss. You can technically do the gummy skip on it, but the arena is closed in, so you will literally 6.
Yes.
You will be closed in. You will be closed in, so we kill the boss. Okay, anyway.
You okay, Thought?
I'll be fine.
You gotta think about what you say, like 5 minutes before you say
Yeah,
it.
my bank was just texting me, and they were just like, come on, man.
Okay, bro, come on, man, speak good English. Well, hey, you know what? The more the merrier. You're going to a good cause.
That is true. I should be happy. In case. Yeah, that's a fumble. 7.
Oh no.
Oh no.
In fact, I should be happy about this.
Mm.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Yeah, the
There's
commentators
an
need to warm up
answer.
a bit.
There's an answer to that. That question, the woodchuck question. I didn't know about it until recently. It's like an actual response you could tell someone with it, and it is just as like a tongue twister as the question. It's so good. But anyway,
Here's a strat that we call insert potato. Logic doesn't like
oh
the
my
name.
god.
It's named. It is 50% named after Logic.
Okay, I want to explain my side. Okay, so Dutch Potato and I found the strat. We want to find a cool name for it, and Dutch Potato, insert logic. We thought of Dutch logic because it's like the Dutch way of thinking. It's like a funny way to do it. But people said, "Nah, insert potato, bro." And that's what we're stuck with. So basically, enemies in the top left, you just need to kill a rapid amount of enemies in this fight. And double arrow guns is great just for AoE coverage. And the shadows, even though they're not technically enemies, still take away from the enemy's bar. And double arrow guns obviously being in AoE, some of the arrows go out wide in the out of bounds portion of the arena. And we use double arrow guns and kind of hug the arena to take out as many shadows as we possibly can. Obviously, you don't want to take care of this rock troll, just so he's not getting sniped, because again, this dude could lay him out pretty quick.
Yeah, and it gets the enemy's bar down pretty quickly too.
It's very much worth killing.
Yeah. And as you can see, the shadows that are being cleared from these arrow guns are insane in comparison to anything else he could be doing. At least from what we found.
Yeah. Also, in between arrow guns, he built up a Mirage Staff to utilize the clones to build up arrows to get arrow guns again quickly.
That was scary.
There we go. And we're going to keep that Mirage Staff because we're going to use it for movement after, but you want to proc this attraction, the train, because you cannot end the fight without using the train finisher. Even if the bar is like fully depleted, it's just like the fight will still go on, so we gotta use the train here. I don't know if you guys have different experiences, but it doesn't seem like the point at which it spawns is consistent based on the enemy bar. At least to me.
No, it's always consistent. I checked.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that just because I hate being wrong. But yeah, using Mirage Staff, you can see like when you use what would normally be a dodge roll on the ground, you just slide on your staff on the ground. Really cool animation. I love it. And it's actually, I think it's the same distance as an air slide. So like being able to do that on the ground just over and over again is by far the fastest form of movement in this run. So that's why we, another reason why we built up Mirage Staff during that fight is to make that movement significantly faster. Everybody's dead now, by the way. Yeah, Sora is see-through. And we gotta collect Soras.
So
you heard right.
Yeah, within the lore, the heroes get floored by a single member of the big bad group, the Organization 13. And now we're at the process where we kind of just pick apart the pieces and start again, pretty much. So yeah, Sora is a ghost right now. We gotta get his fragments back, leading to one of the cooler parts of movement in the run, which is Sora Collection.
I feel like this is where Logic's gonna start arguing.
Yeah, so you say there's certain ways you can do this, and there's a way that this is a really cool part, and one of those instances where one of the first routes that was implemented was actually the best route that has been found so far, and so it has been
nice made of you to admit that, Logic.
Yep. Yeah, I'm so happy that this route is here. Puts a smile on my face.
Logic found a route that only he has ever done, and I will say it is a cool route. A little bit trickier than this one, but Logic stands by it, and I respect it because it looks cool, and I haven't seen the timing myself, but anyway, we're up in the cup here. I think that's the reason why you made your own route, but we just want to collect as many Soras as possible. He did it very quickly. Already at the 95, which is where you want to be around this point. And after collecting all these Soras that are running, I think you should be at 111. Maybe need to get one more, two more. That's fine because there's two up there. Very quickly able to get the 111. That's a fumble. 111 Soras that I think in my casual playthrough this took me like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts.
Yeah, because every time I saw a cube, I was like, ooh, what's this do? And it changed the arena, and I just kept getting put in bad positions, and I was like, where do I go? This is hard.
Now we saved Sora, now we have to kind of save the friends. So now we're going to be fighting one boss over and over. This boss being the Lich. Lich is a pretty fun segment in my opinion. It is the same fight, but he kind of changes between phases.
Gotta
And it's
approach it
actually-
differently for each one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like Yida's gonna be bulk selling everything to buy the food and consumables that he needs.
And also synthing some. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Oh yikes!
Yeah, bad luck with drops this run. Usually you want to be able to send a couple ethers, maybe your focuser, but buying 2 of each of the best food available to use for the rest of the run, and then restocking on ethers. Let's see. Got an item slot, so filling that up and replacing it looks like the Fire Cuff Link with Sorcerer's Room, which has 5 magic, the highest amount of magic we're going to see on an accessory in this run.
Mm-hmm.
So very good.
Almost forgot to do abilities as well.
Oh yeah, we just got Glide after 10k, which is Glide. Everybody likes Glide. Very good ability for movement.
Mhm.
Just whack that Neo Shadow in the head because screw you.
Hurry, Sora.
No, hopefully Yida gets it. Oh, I think he did. He didn't.
Maybe I was a bit too far forward. I don't know.
Okay, so here with this lich is kind of stationary for the start.
I forgot something else, sadly.
Oh, I think this still works. Yeah, there we go.
I forgot to eat food, so my magic
You forgot
stats
to do
low.
the EXP glitch too.
Oh, well, you see, Thor, it's not really a glitch. It's more of an exploit because they
Look,
infinitely
just leave the comment on my
spawn there.
YouTube video and I'll laugh at it later.
Oh, I already left it 3 times, but you won't get back to me. Now that I
Then
have
I've
you in the
already
VC,
laughed at you 3 times.
I would love to get your input on it.
Maybe that's again. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, jeez. That's
Yep.
scary.
been there, done that. I think. Does he have less health in Caribbean? Could be.
No, just less magic resistance. It should have killed it with the
Oh
thunders,
yeah, that's
but
it. So yeah, this is the first opportunity Yida has after the fighting the first 2 liches to eat. So got that food in. Damage is going to go up by a noticeable amount. One thing about these liches is each world, like he said there in Caribbean, he had less magic resistance, so you were able to do more damage to him. For 2 of the worlds that we're going to see, Toy Box and San Fran, he has thunder resistance. So we aren't able to make as much use of the thunder strats we're seeing here on these other liches, but we approach it in a different manner. That's slightly harder to pull off, but not that bad. Trying to remember what you do on level 1. Do you use nano gear?
Portal the shadows control.
Oh, what?
Do you use nano gear on level 1?
No, not enough damage.
Okay. Yeah, for the most part, the strats are similar, other than those 2 worlds I mentioned: Shotlock, Thunder and Shotlocks. To keep them staggered. Full Thunder combo, partial to finish him off.
Yeah, it's slightly faster than going for a second full shot lock, but like Dar said, some of them have thunder resistance, so 2 full shot locks is necessary.
Yeah, like this one here. The size of the varying different arenas also plays a role. Only really if you mess up, because he likes to fly around constantly all over the place and just be way out of your range. It's really only a thing in these next 2, Toy Box and Corona, which we'll see next. But yeah, no thunders, like you said, just 2 shot locks, because thunders don't do as much damage to him. Corona.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Everybody has had fun on Corona Lich. Playing hide and seek, scavenger hunt.
Mm-hmm. There
Yeah,
has
he's
never
gonna-
been a failed Corona Lich.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
We used to like air step close to him to do the thunders, but Yida has found this way of doing it. Of just doing a combo, and the Lich actually moved over to that far point in the middle of the combos, but he was still able to hit him with the finisher to knock him to the ground. if you don't hit him and stagger him there, he will teleport again, and you will take the next 20 minutes finding him.
20? I did it. I could barely do it in 30. What the hell? What kind of tech you guys using?
I have a hidden backup tech that I don't want to share.
Oh,
Anyway,
damn.
I have a tracker on it.
Sanford. No, I do not play this game with a tool to assist me. Yeah. This one's scary because you got to open up with a shot lock, and as you saw there, while you were charging your shot lock, he was charging up an arrow that the cast went off right when you started doing your shot lock, like frames away from just getting destroyed by that arrow. Second one to finish him off, because again, thunder resistance there. Now Sora is going to use the power of waking, which we all know how that works, or at least we find new ways of how it works in every game. Lore. But going back in time to right before the point they got killed by the Demon Tide and Terranort and all that, and now we're going to kill Demon Tide because last time we forgot that we had Ariel, but during his time waking his friends, Thor remembered that he has Ariel.
And crossed his mind again. He was like, "Oh shit! Wait a minute."
And Ariel, that's 8. Ariel will be showing.
Oh.
All right, Logic, you're going to take over for most of the remaining.
I got you, man. No, so Yida wants to bring out Ariel here again. Big moving target, or big slow moving target. So Ariel's water droplets are extremely strong, especially if Yida's able to position it correct. So pretty much all the droplets connect.
I
What
shouldn't have done
Yida's-
this.
Oh. Okay, what Yida's
it's
probably gonna do... Okay, he's DMing second phase. He's gonna do it again. Hopefully catch him on the way up. Oh, alright, he did. So now Yida's goal is to kind of whittle him down before he gets aggressive. There's a small window. Okay, there we go. So this is fine, because Yida's in a form and can't die using a limit, sorry. So hopefully Yida's able to clean up here. Oh,
Forgive Logic, he's a 2FM runner. These are
Yeah.
stop limits.
some mobby man mobby. Is he using his form? Oh wait, I mean, I'm done. Okay, that's normal.
That is
for me.
$5 from you, Logic.
Yeah, that's a
That's
crisp
awesome.
$5.
$5 as well.
I'm sorry, 5 kilograms or whatever unit of
Oh my
weight you use in
God.
your...
Oh my god. I'm gonna send you 30 kilograms in the mail.
All right. Let's go.
Alright, now we're at the most emotional
That
part.
sounds like you're mailing me drugs.
Well, now that you said it like that, people are gonna assume that. But yeah, I totally was gonna do that. Can we
It's
cut this
the
out?
repetitive stress injury part of the run.
Oh, I love this part. Dude,
Me too.
this part really sucks because you can't mash, or you can mash, but you can't rapid mash. There is a window in which it won't take your inputs, so you've got to like time mash, and holding the timing is rough and also not great. Like it's a really weird BPM.
Yeah.
Well, if you had
hold-
to mash as hard as you could, I think a lot of us would have actual hand problems.
Yeah.
So it's a good
even,
idea.
Even me, when I was timing this, back when I was running on console, my, like, the endurance of my hands and forearms, I guess, is just not there compared to a lot of other runners because I would just get tired, like, at this point and lose the rhythm because, like, I just, my fingers give out. I have to constantly switch fingers throughout it. Yeah, no hand problems yet. Maybe in 10 years from all that.
Yeah. If you're not feeling it now, you'll feel it in a decade, is what I've been told.
Yeah, a couple of older people who ran Kingdom Hearts 3 way back when have told me that after 10 years is when it starts kicking in.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking
Good.
forward to it.
Yeah, I know Edgy has been, I mean, he's been speedrunning for like, what, 30 years now? Been alive for like 45.
Yeah,
so,
30 years sounds right. He started when he was 45.
Yeah.
So yeah, 30.
Yeah. At the age he's at, he wears good gloves though. I heard they're really good actually. Like the gloves that people wear, I've heard it's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I might need to get that. I love, I love that bit. Honestly.
Boomer
About-
Etchy. Do I
Yeah.
have that? Is that
Oh.
that's an FFZ, right? Etchy Boomer.
Oh, I hope so.
I went the wrong way.
I don't have it on this channel. Etchy Boomers in chat for people who have it. Wait, that's not how FFZ works.
But it ain't in the channel. It's not ours.
All right, we are in game. Well, we've been in game, depending on who you ask. But we have a boss rush gauntlet in Keyblade Graveyard here, where we're fighting the 13 members of Organization 13. Wait a second, that's why they're called Organization 13. Why?
Oh my god.
But yeah, that phase progresses after you deal off a certain amount of health from their health bar. And Yida has made some very good Ralph strats here, where he's going to be able to catch both bosses in it. And you can only kill one boss at a time. You can't take, like, even if you took them down at like the same amount of health. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. You can only kill one boss. The other boss you have to kill like by itself in phase 2. Really good Ralph there. Gonna do a split shot lock to finish off Riku and also get some more damage from Zigbar. Yeah, Ralphing's hard, and Yida's made these, nice whiff Riku. These, really good Ralph setups to, maximize damage on these enemies.
Okay, so what you did right there as well is did a camera setup to kind of trick Zigbar into going in a certain area. And now you just kind of work on backwards here to make sure he can actually keep him staggered to then build around the build he currently has. Hopefully this is going to be good.
Yes.
Oh.
I just need to catch him again.
There we go.
I like how Zigbar's voice actor in this game makes it more clear that he's actually saying R for reload. It's very evident that that's what he's saying in Cage 3. So I had a feeling that's what he was saying in Cage 2, but this actually just confirmed it.
Yeah. It was a good second Ralph though.
Yeah, not bad. Zigbar is definitely one of the hardest simply because you have to build Ralph in the air, which is definitely not easy to do. And also, there are ways to camera manipulate him, but it's not always easy to judge the right distance and angle as well.
Yeah, true.
Alright, this phase we got Luxord, Larxene, and Marluxia. This is another phase that ends when you deal a certain amount of damage, or it will end automatically if you bring one of them to 1 HP. And he's going to go for that here with a Ralph on all 3 of them.
It's fine.
Unfortunately, that didn't phase, but Luxord actually takes reduced damage in this phase because you can't kill him, you're meant to kill him in the next phase. But looks like Mickey, pushed the phase there instead of it timing out.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool. So you got to find Luxord. It's evident by which card is like spinning. He knocked him out of the card with a Ralph charge, and now he is going to build it so that he is only in the lights of the last block, so that it gets up to a high chain and one-shots him. Otherwise, when he's at like half health from that, I think it is, he'll teleport away, and you'll have to do the whole thing over again. So,
That sounds right.
a very particular build where you only want to hit him with the last locking chain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately I didn't catch them before the DM, but you can just aim the camera this way and they should spawn into that light there.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Ooh, unfortunate. You ideally want to kill Marluxia there, because during his DM, you can't damage him at all. And Larxene, you actually have time to get some hits in on her, and even do some counters during the DM. Well,
And
she's
actually
probably-
Ariel while she's DMing.
Yeah, true.
Oh, there was
But
no
no.
effects on the ground for some reason.
I've seen that before a few times. Maybe he ran out of darkness. His
Maybe.
darkness power DP depleted.
The sun's going down.
Or the budget
come
went
on,
to
that was
Gauge 4
funny.
instead.
That was good. I like that. You got a good chuckle out of me.
I didn't hear it.
So these panels in the floor are
Should be sure to
doors.
laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
Something to note about this area is these panels on the floor are switches for the door.
they are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
For real?
like,
Yeah. It took me a while to figure that out.
Right.
But yeah, touching the save point to refill our health and get our full MP back. It's very important to do that between these fights.
Mhm.
Terranort Vanitas, probably the scariest fight out of Keyblade Graveyard.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Casually and even in the speedrun, just because their AI doesn't appear to work as it's supposed to, and the fact that only one, like usually in these Keyblade Graveyard fights, the way it works is only one of the org members is going to focus on you, and the other one is going to focus on your party member, and only swap to you, your party member dies.
Yeah.
But here, they
the-
just seem to switch targets at random, and they can both attack you at the same time.
I don't know how the hell Terranort like broke out of the
Oh,
light to then
no.
dash into the light. That was
this game's so
strange.
bad.
Oh, that was a good Ralph there.
Yeah, you wanna keep them against the wall, and as your Ralph's blocks are exploding, they don't escape. Over here, stay. Please stay.
Terranort is really enjoying himself here.
Yeah, he tends to ignore the lights as he's dashing. Please. Okay,
Oh,
the
that should be
ours
good.
is
There we
good
go.
though. There we go.
Hopefully this kind of picks up on the damage that was lost in the first Ralph.
Now I want to get
Oh, this
Vanitas
is good.
first.
This is a good distribution.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
this-
is. Go on.
I was gonna say this distribution is very appealing because now Yida has to do minimal amount of work to catch Terranort here.
It's optimal by a small bit to kill Vanitas first, because if you kill Terranort first, you have an extra cutscene you have to skip. So,
If I had focus, I probably could have ended him before the DM, but it's better to just stay in Stitch.
that's
Also,
okay.
I'm
You can
taking
go to Stitch,
damage.
You look falling right into it.
And he'll R-solo him into you as well. So you can just get a free, I don't know what you'd call it, like Stitch Volley?
Stitch, finish or Stitch. Stitch. Lightning. Alright, now we got Syax. Yida, you see he didn't use a tint. That's because Yida is going to die here. Not to like get back MP or whatnot, but this is actually going to set up an RNG manipulation on the last fight of Keyblade Graveyard 3X. Where,
Well, I only have one high refocuser left, so it's probably better to save that, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
come on, you're Yidamoda. You got this. You'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only known bit of RNG manipulation in this game. But it's a cool little thing that was found to make the setup on the last fight here a lot more ideal for us. But here, Yida is, instead of going immediately into a Ralph, he's going to be shooting some level 1 fires, which costs the least amount of MP. Cool thing about this game is you can cast down tier magic to save MP at the cost of doing a little bit reduced damage. But Fire, Fyra, and Fyraga all generate the same amount of arrows.
Unfortunately, my Keyblades are on the wrong side. I don't know if I swap them in the menu, it will get rid of the forms. I don't want to risk it.
If you swap it in the menu, yes, it will.
Okay, then I can't do anything about it. That's bad.
Yeah, I just got to build it up here in this phase. He wants to build up which one did you build up there? Is that okay?
This is snow already. By now I should be building them up from scratch, but phase 1 I didn't really have much of a choice, so I did it there instead.
Right. So yeah, he wants to build up counter shield and also I don't know which Keyblade you put on, either Happy Gear or Blizzard Claws. Regardless, you're going to be using them both in the next fight. But not using either of them here. That's for 3x. Nor 3x, Norcore, Triple Xehanort, whatever you want to call it. The best fight in this base game.
I'm actually stupid. I could have just bought Refocuser instead of... could have just bought one instead of saving it for the end.
On the moon's pale light.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What is wrong with me? And I think I have plenty of ethers to do that as well. Well, now it's just waiting for Roxas to bring him down to 1 HP for me.
Well, you can pop the Refocuser here and buy one in the store, right?
Oh, I didn't equip it.
Oh, I see.
Just please.
According to Thar, Anson has an X in it. Thar,
No,
get to
Kindle,
elaborate.
and it's because they're all Xehanort. Hello?
Oh, you know what, Thomason, you kind of got rolled there, mate.
You did. By me. I robbed you, Templeton. Roxas does damage.
Yeah, Roxas cleans up.
You can literally, especially since in his Berserk he does a lot of damage and kills you very fast. If you wanted to play this safe, you could literally just glide around the whole fight, block or dodge his weapons he throws at you, and let Roxas do the fight.
Mm-hmm.
It is a viable strategy.
So now the problem is I'm going to have to get used to using the Keyblade switches differently. Crystal Snow's on the left. Crystal Snow's on the left.
Yep.
This is something like this is like one of those mistakes I'll have to remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, this this strat's sick. This is probably the coolest strat in KH3 any percent of any category. Because we use AoE magic with some of our different form changes, which adds very, very little revenge value, so you can do it on bosses for a long time before they retaliate. Little callback to Final Form Firaga in KH2, which added no revenge value. Makes this fight in particular very fun, because we're going to use a combination of counter shield right now to block the lasers and get it out on young Xehanort. And we're going to keep blocking his attacks with counter shield. Purposely get a critical counter by doing a pulse buffer there. It is very hard to time it otherwise, especially this late in the run where stress is high. And just do this over and over again until he's dead. Finish him off. Oh, yeah, just need to finish him off with some combos here after the Firaza.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done.
Almost did the wrong switch there.
That'd have been bad,
This is so confusing to me. My brain's not piloting properly.
You got this, Hida. All begins and ends in darkness. Yep, blocking that was Zimnus and counter shield to get our first charge. Gonna try to get a second charge and use it later on in the fight. But here, now we see our AoE magic. Happy Gear, the Keyblade he has, and Crystal Snow, the Keyblade form change he's built up, both have AoE magic. So double the AoE magic here. Just gotta stagger Zimnus after he's done with his attack, and just watch his health bar melt. This fight right here is why Yida really wanted to keep that ring and not accidentally sell it, because having that extra cast with fire goes a long way here, because as you can see, each one is doing so much damage.
Nice.
Already dead.
Normally I would have to do some shot locks with Crystal Snow at the end to get him, to kill him, but Rico and Mickey helped a lot there.
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
can
take
either help
him-
a lot, die really quickly, or just not focus on the target you want to die.
So taking the intentional death there to get the Koopa coin MP. And now I'm just gonna try and bait Ansem to do a specific attack. Not this one, but this one's fine. And then 3 arrows instantly. 2! That's the wrong Keyblade me! Okay. I keep switching to the wrong thing.
Cool
so
tech here
bad.
to air step to his mines, where they'll explode, but immediately block out of the air step to get the counter and not take any damage from it. Heat Rising Spiral to knock up Ansem. That's a good way to set up a boss while you're switching to your other Keyblade. Ooh, he broke out. And there go Riku and Mickey. They will always die to that attack
Yeah.
because they make no effort to escape.
I mean, Ansem, that is the one attack that guaranteed will destroy them. Every other attack they can like dodge it or like guard it. It's like, okay, fine, they can help out, but yeah, that attack on Ansem is genuine GG for them.
That attack in particular is really, in my opinion, the only flaw of this fight in an otherwise like incredibly well designed encounter. And like, yeah, it'd be cool if they made an effort to escape, but that's more of a scaling issue with your party members and the fact that that just one-shots them and they can't get out at all, or a tuning issue rather, the damage that it does. But otherwise, like that fight is one of my favorite, and a lot of people I know favorite fights in the entire series. Which I think, in the words of KBM, they made one of the best fights in the series completely by accident. Have we talked about Arrow? A little bit.
A bit.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we don't really use it in this round. Holy crap!
What the hell? What's this? The error is, especially on these clones, the gimmick of these clones is every clone is an org member. And they all have their, like, they all share a health bar, but they have their own unique stagger. And so Arrow just kind of puts them in a tornado, and the damage just racks up because they always get caught by it. Now we're getting into the saucy stuff. So this is phase 1. Okay. Yida wants to spiral again to send him all the way to the ground and then set up a Ralph. Once again doing that spiral just to properly set up the guard is to face him. And these are some good blocks. Oi, oi. Okay. So this is a 3-stage fight. Yida wants to try and get this phase push immediately because he actually has a DM per phase and Yida doesn't want to see any of them.
That's decent damage. I can get him to DM now.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
Ariel.
I'm surprised he didn't DM right out the Ralph.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Yida tries actually to get the DM.
True.
You want to get him to phase 2 immediately, but if he the quicker he DMs, it's also not bad.
Yeah, more of a backup rather. Just instead of like trying to skip the DM at that point, just try to get him to take it because you can just wreck him with aerial during it.
Yeah.
Easy.
Very nice.
I'm
Now,
gonna take the
you're
intentional
underwater.
death here.
This is a callback to Atlantica from KH1. That was an intentional death, by the way, to refill items and MP. Little death abuse. Another reason why he purposely procced his Koopa coin in 3x was to make that death abuse faster. And now, more air usage to keep him stun locked underwater. Sometimes he'll go into an attack, not a big deal.
That is scary.
Ooh, just gotta deal with it. Good thing about Arrow here is, funny fact about sea magic is every sea magic, be it fire, thunder, arrow, blizzard, they all do the same damage. Surprisingly, including the finishers of them. That's why we don't do finishers, because they're slow and have in lag. But all of them except for arrow have a travel time. Their projectiles. Arrow will hit him instantly and immediately stagger him. As you can see, we want to get him down to 4.5 bars here to push phase 3.
Donald, please heal me. Donald, my friend.
The king's wizard, come on, bro. Get to work.
There we go. And are you gonna death abuse again?
No.
Okay.
As long as I have full focus, I can.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Look him
That's
now.
right. Yeah, if you thunder immediately, it will immediately catch him. Usually, he will go straight into an attack, doing hit rising spiral to set up the shot lock. One thing about rising spiral, which you may have noticed on phase 1 of this fight in particular, is it launches enemies up into the air, and they will not be able to recover until they fall all the way down to the ground, which makes setting up for things like shot locks or changing your keyblade very good. And setting up Ralph's too. Another good way to do that. Yeah, unfortunately it is very hard to skip the DM on level 1 for phase 3. So you just gotta deal with it, and it's okay because you can just do another shot lock there. But we are on the last fight of the run.
Mm-hmm. And this is where it gets spicy. Definitely the hardest set of tricks coming up. So yeah, right here, Yida wants to get another Ralph. You know it.
Oh, I didn't
There
mean
are-
to do that. Sorry.
There are 2 phases, and Yida just wants to once again kind of just push him to the second phase. Obviously it's a little hard with the Ralph, and Yida's got his backups, so if it goes wrong, it's fine. Oh, that wasn't that much damage.
2 shot locks should do it.
It's a little scary. I don't think it will.
Have faith, Logic.
You know what, you're right. I forget who's on the sticks.
An interesting thing about final fights, and final Xehanort in particular, is unlucky.
I thought I was gonna catch him.
But to build off of what I was trying to say there, on other categories where you level up, final fights are actually one of the easiest part of the run, especially final Xehanort. Opposite on level 1, it becomes incredibly difficult because it involves using Ralph setups that you can't always get full damage on depending on the build. But this is good. This build is good. Double, triple block.
Just
That's smart, putting the long downward block on top of the short one. Something I never really thought about.
I don't think I needed a full shot lock, but just for
Better safe than
safety.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. Gonna pop an ether to get MP back, do a shot lock, block these orbs, and then
It's close.
yeah. Gonna airstep to Xehanort, air slide backwards for a Ralph setup. Probably the hardest Ralph setup and the coolest Ralph setup in the run.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's not connected. That's heartbreaking.
Is that gonna? Oh no.
That Triple A. This is gonna be rough.
I don't think this is gonna work, but just to humor myself.
You never know.
I've seen shoddy Ralph builds work on this fight.
We'll find out.
No,
Oh.
that is a lot of damage missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So didn't miss the rage form skip. Probably want to die at this point. Yeah, because you got to like do this long rage form sequence to get your light back, and then he goes into his real DM, which is a really cool DM. But we like skipping DMs in speedruns. But that's okay. Like I said, this strat is incredibly difficult to pull off. we'll let Yida focus here.
Yeah. Oh, again, some good blocks.
These are the worst ones too.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I don't like sideways. And
The
especially when they're
savage
short. Okay.
Now that looks good now.
That's
Look
looking
at that.
good.
Look at that build. Look at that art. Mwah.
They used to build like blocks around Xehanort, but Yida came up with this this line strat. Where you start far away from them. Which, let's go. Hey,
That's GG.
there you go.
So the run's not over yet.
Yeah, timing doesn't end quite yet. We're gonna. This is very easy to live through if you do it right.
Yeah.
But there's a little sequence where he charges up an attack and doing
You're
it.
a little low on health, so I'm a little worried, but nah, I think Yida's got this one.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
gotta. Wait. I'm bad at this. I'm so bad at this game.
Oh.
Well, time to redo the fight again.
Oh,
Wait.
wait a minute.
The continue screen's bugged.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, why do I hear Donald and Goofy?
your friends are your power.
Oh my god, the light!
The power of waking. Sora's gonna turn back time. Do not
Sora's
die.
gonna end up in the real world. Oh my god.
Timing ends when this beam of light hits Xehanort.
Mm-hmm.
Which is frustrating because if it ended on the input, I would have had sub 240 by now.
Well, that's just initiative for you to keep running the game.
And time.
GG. Applause on that one. I can't be too loud, but it was a good run, Yida.
Thanks
It
for
was
having
a
me.
good run, Yida.
It was a great
was
run.
Great.
I will now, of course, I will DM you my multi-paragraph essay on the things that you did wrong.
on
But it's
the
okay.
on the non-sub 1 Verum Max.
Yeah.
It starts there.
Yida has the syndrome that all speedrunners have, where we're super hard on ourselves and never think that like our runs are good enough. But Yida, this was a very good run. You are very good at this game. You are the best at this game. It is insane, like to see your progress and all the cool tech that you come up with.
My ego's getting overloaded.
What
Yeah,
he said.
Well, that's the goal. I want you to like become an egotistical arsehole, as we say in Britain.
Arsehole.
But yet, no,
Um,
you are insane at this game, and it's always a pleasure to watch you run. And we were very happy to have you on Face My Fearows this time.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, this has definitely been the category I've been pushing for the longest. And I plan to continue pushing it and possibly doing it on console again. And then I'll tackle the real hardest category, Proud Level 1. Trust
Let's
me,
go.
that is the worst. Alright, yeah, I guess I'll let Dar take over again.
Begetting more darkness.
Yes.
And that darkness spread across the world like a plague.
I'm hosting. Cool. That was Ida. Do you have any shout outs you want to give out to the community, or I don't know, me, Logic?
Yeah, shoutouts to Kingdom Hearts 4. It's been announced. Let's go.
The announcement trailer dropped this morning. Go watch it. It is very sick. Sora is a freaking superhero. Go watch it during the intermission. You have time. But yeah, that was Kingdom Hearts 3 Level 1 NE% by Yidamoda. Coming up, we have, I believe, the I'll close the schedule tab. We have the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Sky Randomizer 10 Dungeon coming up next with Epic Yoshi Master. So stick around for that. Should be a very cool run. I've never seen a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon speed run, let alone a randomizer, so I'm looking forward to that. And you should be too.
To stop